Chaotic Radio, because the rest is just a waste of time.
Welcome to the Kinda Gaming Show, live every Thursday evening, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
2 hours.
2 hours. I'm here with my regular boys. To my left,
The boys.
we got Miguel.
Yo.
We have Brandon.
I'm one of the boys.
You are one of the boys, and we have Connor Engineering in the back.
Hey, everybody, if you can see me behind the window.
I can.
Yeah.
You guys can, but the fucking cameras are always a little funky because it just depends on the angle. It's always a little weird.
I mean, you got a webcam.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not turned on right now.
Yeah, so today we got a big show. We're going to be counting down our top 5 N64 games.
Oh, shit.
That's
right.
With Adam Agro.
Yes. Oh, you forgot again?
No, I know at least 3 of them off the top of my head.
Oh, Jesus.
I just think you've forgotten, I think, every week.
Shut up. Because you keep skipping over the good ones. Or you
We
We
do
haven't
the-
skipped
Okay,
over
when
any.
I'm not here.
The only ones we
My mic
skipped was N64. Which
Yeah,
we're doing
now we're back to it.
Whatever.
The only one me and you
No,
missed
I
was
missed.
PS1.
Exactly, and that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
I know, I agree. I was a little upset, but that's just the way it works.
Just going to have it
It's a
again
big one
someday in the
for me.
future.
How many of your PlayStation games will translate over to Nintendo 64?
Maybe one.
Not the best ones.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, though, like there's a game that was on my top PS1 that is on the N64, but it's not on the N64 list. So
Interesting.
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
So, Adam's going to be calling in around 8:10 our time. But, before that...
when he calls in, should I even he's gonna be talking? It doesn't even it's not like he's gonna Baba Booey us. I just put him in, I guess.
Yeah, just take a chance. If he's the one that calls in 8 minutes, just put him right in.
You'll just go for it.
Whoever it is.
Whoever it is, they will.
I want more
You're
Baba
setting us up
Booies,
for
you know.
failure right here, because
Yeah.
someone could be listening right ass now and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna call him right now."
Yeah,
Baba Booey.
absolutely.
Yeah,
so
so now you have to screen it, actually.
Nah,
Nah,
never.
we're going for it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
It's chaotic radio. Who gives a
What
shit?
is it phone calling in or Skype?
All right. So he's calling
He's-
in on
he's
the
calling
telly
on
or phone.
On an
Tell you
old
later.
school version.
I would rather. So last
telly.
week with Mr. Guernsey Gamer,
I
he
liked
had to be
him.
on Skype because he was in fucking Guernsey.
right.
He can't,
Guernsey.
right? But
Yeah.
actually, I found while the audio quality might be
Hey.
a little lower,
He just said hi.
the audio quality might be a little lower on the phone. They don't drop.
Yeah.
So I just rather have him do that. But anyway, before we get into all that, Connor, you have to talk about some games we were given and you
Oh,
played. So
yes.
go ahead.
Which one? You tell me what to
Talk
about. First.
about the better one first.
Pop music.
The better one.
King Gumball.
Oh yes, that one.
Oddball.
Oddball. That's it. Yeah.
King Oddball.
It's an interesting little one. So it's basically
This is for the Switch, by the way.
yeah, it is for the Nintendo Switch. Everything that he gave me is Switch games. I actually played all of them but one now so far that you've given me. But King Oddball, fun little game. It's definitely I'm pretty sure it's a mobile game that was ported onto the Switch. Honestly, it just feels that way. But it works. It's basically Angry Birds meets Cut the Rope, with a dude with a giant tongue throws rocks at tanks and you blow shit up and solve puzzles. And it was pretty good because they not only do you just go through the levels like usual, but you have the challenge mode where you do a level with using only one rock, and then like all these other bonuses. Try to not use the last rock. Always have one on reserve. And if you like those puzzle games, you're gonna like it. I mean, if you don't like them, you're not gonna like it. That's pretty much how it rocks.
It's not one of those games that you would say like pushes the genre into a sense that if you didn't like those type of games, you would play it.
Probably not. It honestly, it just kind of does what it needs to do and nothing more, nothing less. It's a solid little puzzle game that if you like that idea, then there you go. You go ahead and do it.
All right, and how does it work with the Switch? Like, does it feel natural on the Switch?
Yeah, it was all regular basic controls, thumbstick, A, that type of deal. And just so what happens is it swings the tongue back and forth and you press A when it's time to launch it, like whenever you want.
What was it, like peppermints?
It's like little rocks, and then you're throwing rocks at
Oh.
tanks and dudes and whatnot.
Cool, man.
So-
And I think this game was I think it's either $2.99 or $4.99.
Oh yeah, worth it then.
I don't remember. It's one or the other. I know it's $5 or less.
5 or less. That's I'd say it's worth it. It's good. It's a fun little game. I would say I'm probably gonna end up playing it more. Honestly, like I'll probably end up completing it just because it's a fun little time waster.
So Mofo is like a zombie with a pumpkin on his head.
It's a rock helmet. It's just like he looks like the Juggernaut kind of. It might be more costumes and whatnot. But.
I will say that the video he's watching is in October, so that pumpkin may just be like an October skin.
Yeah.
So at $4.99 you would recommend it.
Yeah, and also I just want to say I kind of like it when you fail a level. He just sort of looks at you like with the biggest disappointment, like what the fuck, dude? Like
I think that's about to happen right here.
He's like you didn't fucking do it.
Yeah, he just did it. He was just
his
like,
face goes by,
"Oh."
he's just like,
Yeah, he's like really. Come on. Bro.
All right, cool, man. And then the other one you played was Wheels
of Aurelia.
Wheels of Aurelia, which was also a Switch title. So
Yeah,
go ahead and give us the
that.
laydown.
Now that game I cannot recommend. That
no.
game, like so it tries to be like a dramatic visual novel story type thing, and you're in a car. So you really don't control the car unless like there's certain points where you can, but it's really weird. It's like when I saw the video, I was like, what goes on in this game? And then I realized that is the game. It's just like you choosing dialogue between things. And like, okay, it's fun to have like dialogue options and go through stuff, but the conversations are really menial. It's like the worst part of conversations in life. It's all small talk. And I originally was like, okay, I'm going to try to see if, all my decisions lead to different things. That way, at least there's a thing where it's like, okay, different stuff will happen depending on what you do.
There actually might be some progression.
But I played through the game, went through a completely different path and got the same outcome. It was like everything that you did that led up to the end was all deduced by a certain line of dialogue at the end. There's 16 total different endings. I've gone through 6 of them, and I just don't see it as being very engaging. It's not enough of a story that I would recommend it as a visual novel, and it doesn't have interaction where it's even a video game. So
yeah, the one thing having not played it, the one thing I could probably compliment it on is the graphics aren't good.
Oh
but
yeah, the
they're
graphics
sleek.
are okay.
They're
yeah.
sleek.
Yeah, they're all right. Like, I mean, it would be if the game had more going for it, then yeah, that would be like a nice little bit because they look nice. If there was something like you could explore this world and just keep doing whatever. Like, it really feels like this game should have an endless mode where you just keep going. Like, if they really...
It could just be like a weed smoker, sit
Something,
down
yeah.
and just chill and drive.
Yeah, because, like, it's all right
wrong
a
with
little
that?
bit. Like, well, that's the thing. Is like that
There's
would be
nothing
okay.
wrong with that. That would be better.
That'd be
is what
okay.
I'm
it's
saying.
fun.
But you beat a campaign in, like, 10 minutes. Like, that's all it is. Like, you drive through, like, what seems like nothing. Like, the amount of gameplay that goes through in a story is equivalent to what would normally be a like tutorial level or something.
Okay.
And you could just crash the car into the side of the walls and everything, and the car
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, there's one instance where crashing into stuff matters. Is because one of the people that you're driving, she's like, "Can you drive a little careful? I don't feel good." And then it's like, okay. And if you hit if you hit too many things, she's like, "I fucking hate you, bitch."
So I guess the same questions last time. One, even though it's not good, does it at least control well on the Switch?
Not necessarily. The UI is really fucked up, actually. Because, okay, so you know how in Mass Effect, when you have, or any game for that matter, when you have multiple options to say, it just shows them all on screen. And you're like, I want that one, or whatever. This one, you have to toggle through them. You only see one, and then you have to keep mashing the button. And then if you're, like, there's one point where, even though it's a race and it's kind of stupid easy anyways, because it almost still drives itself, you still have to like control while toggling through this menu, and it's like, okay, put my finger there, do that, like take my finger off the thumbstick. It was weird.
I feel you. So I'm pretty sure this last question is foregone conclusion, but at a price of $9.99, would you recommend this game?
No, go ahead and get the one I played earlier, the
King Oddball.
King Oddball. Go ahead and get King Oddball, or spend $5 more and get Stardew Valley.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so last thing on this, we want to say, even though you didn't recommend it, we still want to say thank you to
Yeah,
the
definitely
developers
thank you.
of Wheels of Aurelia for sending in a copy, and 10 Tons, who sent us King Oddball. We are also on the Switch. We got some other games. Moon Hunters, which looks really good. I think by Kit Fox Games. We got
That one that's the one I have not played yet. I'm currently starting.
we got another game by 10 Tons. I don't remember. It was like the typing one. I'll have to look it up in particular. We also got sent the port of VVV,
Oh,
which we're
yeah,
not
good time.
we're not allowed to
Good
talk
time.
about it.
Can't talk about it
Okay.
Because we are embargoed.
What does that mean?
until Sunday.
Means if we talk about it, we get sued.
Why is that?
It's just the way it works
Okay, I
with
won't talk
Games
about it.
Press.
But I just want to say really quick, is my mic even on? I can barely
It-
hear myself.
Yes,
You
we do.
sound
you're
Okay, just making
totally
sure.
fine.
Because this whole week I've been working on my own game, like learning game development and stuff in school, and I'm like looking at all these indie games that are coming out, or even just the ones that are out, even things like this that are like $5, and I'm like, I have a really hard time criticizing something because I'm putting such like hard work into something like this just to make like movement controls, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it requires so much programming and art direction, and if that's like a couple people, regardless of if it's fun or not, it's really impressive, and I
Yeah.
Sure.
appreciate every bit of it. So
I think
at
there
least
were
for me
3 people in
personally,
there.
it's really hard to criticize anything at
Ye-
this moment in video games.
Adam says he's tried
I see
calling.
that. Yeah. It says tried calling, but it didn't.
All right, try calling one more time. The number is 909-360-8330, Adam. Connor's going to be watching this thing like a fucking hawk.
I have been watching it. Yeah. Like
Well,
it,
I mean, he should watch like a normal hawk, like one that's hunting, not a fucking hawk.
that
Yeah.
might be good advice actually. I'm just staring at it.
Just try it again. There's like a delay on the stream for YouTube. So
Let
whenever-
Connor figure it out. Let's keep rolling.
He's
Yeah,
like, we can chat here. Can't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Oh,
we-
wait.
Wait.
There we go.
Now you got to send him through.
Yeah. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
shit!
well,
Hold
yeah.
up! Hold up!
Hold on.
Putting you through. That's the wrong
Or
mouse
did-
button.
oh, were we just hearing him over Connor's mic?
Yeah.
All right,
Ah.
that should be it.
All right, Adam, are you in?
I hear
Sounds-
muffled out of my
Oh,
left ear.
Oh,
gotta
hold
turn
on.
it up.
There.
Ah.
Adam,
There we
there,
go.
are you there, man?
Yes, can you hear me?
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault. I had you muted on the board. Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm here.
He's here.
I'm so glad you're so excited to be on the radio, Adam.
Yeah, I haven't been up this late in a long time.
I know, I know. You're like an adult now. You have like a full-time job and everything.
What?
No, I don't have a full-time job.
He's like, that ain't me.
Oh,
I wish I had a full-time job. I got shit canned because I didn't want to live life anymore. So that's what happens when they can tell you're dead behind the eyes. They're like, yeah, we don't want you to work here. And I'm like, oh, I can understand that. I don't want to work here either. In fact, I don't want to be on this planet anymore. But what can you do?
Damn.
Exactly.
We've gotten complaints about the zombie, and all roads lead to Adam.
Oh,
What?
Sure.
I'm playing the role of his boss, firing him.
oh. All right, man. Well,
Yeah.
legitimately, it's good to see you. We started off the show with some Shaq Fu music.
Is that what that
and,
was?
It
Yeah.
was. It
Yeah, I
was
couldn't
music from
figure out what
Shaq
it
Fu.
was.
Also happens to be the Nut Shack.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I like that one better.
Reason why? Well, Adam, why don't you tell everybody? Because I don't think any of these other gentlemen know how you and I met like 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago, I was just doing playthroughs back before every swinging dick started doing playthroughs. And I was just like, what do you guys want to see? Just to my general subscribers. And then Andrew here was like, I'd like to see a playthrough of Shaq Fu. And I didn't think anything
Asshole.
about it. I was just like, well, there isn't an entire playthrough of Shaq Fu on the internet. So yeah, let's do that. And we did it. And later he was like, I was kind of trolling you guys, but kudos for being the first people on YouTube to actually beat Shaq Fu. And I was like, damn right. If no one else is going to do it, why not me?
Yeah,
Right, Nats?
exactly. And our friendship has blossomed ever since. The photo I used for the promo picture today was the pair of man panties that I sent you in the mail.
Man panties.
Mantis?
Yeah.
Manties.
Mantis. I like
Yeah,
mantis.
because on his when he was streaming, back when I was living at home and I was making $300 a week and had zero bills, no phone bill, no nothing. I'd just be like, every week on his stream, I would go on Steam and I would just buy him 10 or 15 random games that were on sale because
That's a
he would.
lot.
It is.
I'm just random.
It
I thought
is.
you were going to say one
No,
game.
he had
and
he had a donation page, and I wanted
Ah.
an entire page to myself,
Yeah.
just so when someone
Jeez.
was
You got
scrolling, I know, right? But I'm like, man, everyone always sends them games. I want to send them something that no one else has. So I'm like, bam, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle boxers.
Is that what it's like not having bills?
Yeah, it is. You just buy random men on the internet.
Just buy male underwear for other YouTubers just for no reason.
Hey, it worked for me. I
Yeah,
miss
it worked
those
for you
days.
because you got something out of it. Andrew's over here
Yeah.
looking all sad.
You know, I guess the real question is, Adam, the pressing question is, do you still have those underwear?
I do. Yeah.
Damn,
Perfect.
that's commitment.
Nice.
Why would he not? What the fuck?
well, I don't
I'm
know.
not going
I
to
go
throw
through
away
clothes.
a perfectly good pair of underwear.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It doesn't have holes in it. Why?
You know, I've always wanted to ask you this. Where did you get the name Red South City?
The-
Because that's
you
his
serious?
YouTube name. Yeah. No, I don't think you've ever actually told me. How did you?
Wait, what was
I
it?
don't-
Red South
Red
City?
South City. Like back when I
Okay.
first watched him, like
There's a
10
lot of things that could come from that.
A lot of bad things.
fair.
All right. I'm pretty sure I've said on like one of your 8,000 billion podcasts
Yeah.
before, but
That's fine.
Red South City basically comes from. It's named after my genitalia. Like I'm a redheaded gentleman, and the carpet matches the drapes, and you know the fire bush, and then all the tools down there kind of looks like a city, like a nice landscape you got going on. So that
Alright.
I came up with Red South City. So for like 10 years now, people have been shouting out my genitals,
That's awesome.
and it really helps stroke the ego, you know.
That's super
Among other
awesome.
things.
Stroke something else on the way too.
Yeah, I mean, you have been on a million podcasts of mine. I will commend, man. And anytime, ever since I would probably say I joined the Overshield, you and I have gone through a lot of ventures together, and it's nice to know that finally, after all this time, like we're on the radio. It's no longer just like we're sitting and making videos or just doing a podcast that two people will listen to. Like I don't know.
mean-
It's just cool.
I mean, Nest Master is the only person in chat right now.
No, of
That's
course.
what I'm saying.
Well,
There's 7 people watching on.
Nest
on
Master
on
is the
YouTube.
only one in chat right now, but we do, like I said, people are listening on the Chaotic Radio app right now, which is being broadcast worldwide, and those stats.
I'm just busting your chops.
You just-
Busting your Red
This
South
is-
City.
This is really cool.
Yeah, man. You know, one of my favorite. We'll get into our moments for our top 5 N64 games, but I have to share this. One of the best trolling things I've ever done was to Adam. He was streaming one day, and I was in the San Bernardino Valley College video room. And I was the only one in there on the computers, right? So I started creating fake Twitch accounts,
Oh jeez.
and I went into his room. And what happened is since they were all on the same network, like I would go 2 people in his room, and it would show up like 15 people showed up in his chat. And they would show up and instantly run away. Show up, instantly run away. And Adam was just like, what the fuck is going on? Because at some point, there was like hundreds of people literally just showing up and leaving. And all of them, I just picked a random streamer. Was like, oh yeah, this guy sent us. This guy
Wow.
sent us. And it was just fucking blowing it up. And he was so fucking confused. And then he
Wow.
finally got caught. Like at the end, I was like, all right, I'm going to tell him. And I created a username called Blue Northtown,
Oh.
That's good. I like that.
and then he finally realized what was going on. But it was so fucking funny, man. I was literally dying because he was.
Northtown.
I don't even remember what he was playing, but he was just playing something. There was maybe like 10 people in chat. I think he was in the double digit club, and
Yeah, DDC.
yeah, exactly. And then just 100, and he was literally, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't playing anything too exciting, and the thing was like I like to shout out the names of everybody who comes in and like follows and stuff, but then it just started like dumping in, and I'm like, all right, I can't shout out all these people. I don't know what's going on, and this is weird. And then somebody was like, oh man, if you're hacking the system, man, they're gonna boot you. They're gonna ban your game. You're gonna get kicked off Twitch. And I'm like, I ain't doing shit. So like, I don't know what's happening.
Andrew had the
I'm-
perfect opportunity to make up some really
Yeah.
funny names.
I did.
Yeah, I was just like
Okay,
some
good.
kind of cyber hacker, and yeah.
The thing was like some of them I made, and I was like running. If you could see me in the room, because there was probably about 10 computers I was actively using, and I was running to the computers and typing in chat actual comments to Adam from like 10 different computers and 10 different usernames.
That's impressive.
Right? No, I look like
I like
a
it.
fucking idiot in that
No,
room.
this sounds really good. I want to do this again.
But the
It's like everybody's account.
right, but the other the names that were just made up that were just like weird. They were all like weird like combinations of numbers, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and
That's what
I
I
didn't make them
mean.
up. They just like showed up out of nowhere and then
So
left.
those ones were just random. Like
yeah,
strangers.
I still actually to this day
Yeah.
don't know how
So
those got
those-
into his room.
Those people probably
Wow.
found him because they saw a lot of people were randomly watching this one stream. So everybody was like, "Oh, let's check out what's going on over here."
It's possible,
And then they
I
bring their friends.
guess. But yeah, man, that's one of my favorite memories.
'Cause
Of
I've-
just trolling Adam.
I've done that on
Nice.
Twitch before. I'm like, "Oh, Final Fantasy 14, cool. Oh, that one has a lot of likes. It must be good." Like a lot of watches right now. So it might be the same thing.
Yeah, I to be honest, like I kind of wish. I mean, I think you were playing Downwell or something that's not like it was like a super niche indie game. I kind of wish I did that when you were playing a more mainstream game, because then some of the people that actually lurked in might have stayed.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I didn't care. I just thought there was a glitch in the Matrix. Because like if you go back, I'm like, this is Niker's doing because he's done this before. But then so many people came in and so many people were chatting, and then they were all following, and I was like, how is he doing this though?
Commitment.
And I had to. It was one of the very first times I actually used Twitch alerts, so it would actually say all these names would flash on the screen real big and make noise, like.
Oh shit.
And so like, and then hundreds and hundreds, and I couldn't even hear the game anymore because I would just hear like my
really
my alerts going off, and it's like so and so follows, 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 and I'm like, oh my! And it was like my first day with Twitch alerts, and I'm like, well, I'm never doing this again.
Delete Twitch.
So like, I thought it was like something on Twitch alert side, and I'm always exhausted and pissed off. Because that's why my name is Adam Agro, but like I was like, man, what the heck is going on?
Nice.
You know, I find Twitch pretty funny because I only used it recently, like for the first time, like once, and I had so much fun for hours because I forgot that it was on, and I wasn't talking or anything, but I got like I think one person to watch,
That sounds about right.
but it was fun knowing that
No,
everybody
it
else
wasn't.
could potentially watch me run around in circles and do nothing, pose little emotes at people.
No, yeah,
Like,
I
it's
can't.
fucking
To be
hilarious.
honest with you, like I can't even remember. I stream. I wouldn't say regularly, but probably like once a week now, which is a lot more than I ever like an actual schedule now. And I'm lucky if I have 3 people.
But that's what I mean is it's really fun not having anybody, you know, because then I feel
I
like
don't
I'm
know.
playing. Because okay, the way I have it is like my PS4 or whatever, and then my computer right underneath it with Twitch open, so it's delayed by like 2 seconds or something.
Sure.
So it's just kind of funny that I feel like I'm talking to myself.
I think you are. I think you're that one viewer.
I know
Right,
that's why
exactly.
it's hilarious.
right.
All
No, I
right.
got like 2 views in like 5 hours or something. I thought it was hilarious. Like
You
I
know-
found it so much fun that no one else was watching.
Last time I streamed Hearthstone, I just one person come in and all he said is, "You look like Ed Sheeran," and left.
You get that a lot.
I
You
get that all
a lot.
the time, dude. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna jump into our top 5 N64 games. Top 5.
Top.
Can I be honest really quick?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
I don't like Nintendo.
That's
very
because
much.
you're a dick.
Just
I also don't like Nintendo, but I also love them.
Look at that. No, I just didn't really care. Like I had a Game Boy and an NES, and a Super Nintendo. But my favorite games have always been on like
Sony.
PlayStation and
Yeah.
PC. So it's really hard coming up with all these. And then you like take a Dreamcast to throw a wrench in my brain.
Excuse me.
No, it's fine. Like we're
Sorry.
gonna do the fucking
PS2,
Sega
and I'm gonna
CD
do a
next
top
week.
50
so,
on PS2. Oh
fun.
shit!
all right,
No, we're not
No.
really. Don't be.
No,
fucking
all
with
right.
me.
So we're gonna go ahead, Adam, since you are our guest, the former First Lady of the Overshield.
Former.
Yeah, well,
Word.
the Overshield isn't a thing anymore.
See.
So go ahead, man.
I burned it to the ground.
I think I
Yeah,
have the most
exactly.
viewed video on there, don't I?
Either you or Tommy.
Yeah,
But
pretty
It
funny.
was empty.
anyway, so if you have any honorable mentions, go ahead and get those out of the way, Adam, and then go ahead and hit us with your number 5.
All right, which we all just do our honorable mentions. Him first, but then. just get
Okay,
him out of
that's
the way.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. We can all just hit our honorable mentions. That's a good idea, Connor. So go ahead.
So go ahead with honorable mention.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
if you have any.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say honorable mention would probably be Rocket Robot on Wheels from Sucker Punch.
I like Sucker
really
Punch.
good game.
Never heard of that game, but I like Sly Cooper. So they
Yeah,
know what
exactly.
they're doing.
It's an amazing game. It's on a red cartridge.
Nice.
It's bad. It's a badass game. Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
Dope.
Nice, man. So this system for me was probably so far like I had the most honorable like mentions. Ones I'm like, oh god, I can't believe I'm leaving that off.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna like give any details. I'm just gonna go down this list really quick.
Right.
All right. So my honorable mentions are 1080 snowboarding, Banjo Kazooie, Battle Tanks Global Assault, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Cruising the World, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Kart, Milo's Astro Lanes, Pokemon Snap, StarCraft, Super Smash Brothers, Turok 2, Seeds of Evil.
Just
Hold
say
on,
the
I-
whole thing. Just say Doom and Quake, and we'll get out of
296
out of the way.
games. Go.
No, God, I can't. This is fucking my phone is not. I actually have more. At the,
291
Okay,
honorable
anyway,
mentions,
you have a
5
lot.
actual
It's a
ones.
good console for you.
It is a good.
oh
The
yeah,
entire-
the
StarCraft,
entire
Super Smash
library.
Brothers, and Turok 2, Seeds
Cool.
of Evil.
These are those
Yeah.
were all games you wanted to.
Yeah, but those didn't make my list.
What the
That's
fuck?
insane.
He's like, you just named all of
Do you
them.
know how
Yeah.
hard I struggled to get 5?
Right.
Oh, I went through. Yeah.
my 5 was easy. Like I just thought about it and I was like, yeah, I know 'em.
Oh,
No.
wow.
For me, the honorable mentions is probably like Conker's Bad Fur Day. That was on
Yeah.
Andrews as well, just because I didn't get to play that much. That game was not for kids.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, well, that was like the 3rd M-rated game ever made, like after Mortal Kombat and Night Trap, which was a thing.
So
Yeah.
did
But-
you? Did you
Just-
have,
they just remade that, actually.
Yeah, I heard
did you
about
have
that.
the opportunity to play Conkers, Brandon?
I did, and I really like Conkers. That's why it is also one of my 2 honorable
mentions.
mentions, along with Banjo Kazooie.
I think my
Also
other one
nice.
is Tony Hawk's
Yeah.
Pro Skater.
I'm not a big fan of 3D platforms, but also this was around the time the PS1 came out. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
Huh.
the reason I don't like
I
the
was saying
64
shit
very
to not
much.
liking platformers.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
go ahead.
Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, it's all good. Anyway, I like the PlayStation 1 a lot,
Yeah.
and I had that instead of the Nintendo 64.
I see.
So that's why I don't really care for the Nintendo 64 very much, because I like PlayStation 1 a lot.
I'm just, maybe this list will kind of be like last week with the Dreamcast, where you're just like these games.
No,
actually...
I know the library of this one though.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Two games that I didn't hear in the honorable mentions that I'll just want to throw out there are Diddy Kong Racing. Which
Attaboy.
it was so good, but it
Attaboy.
didn't make it on here. And Lego Racing
Oh,
or
that's
Lego
weird.
Racers. That was a fun one. You build your own cart and everything. It was like full customization to your own car, so it was pretty awesome.
The NES Master in the chat says the lack of Jet Force Gemini I find
I
disturbing.
know that game, and I watched my
It
cousin
might
play
be
a
on
lot of
someone's
it.
list. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
Yo, Ness, wait for the list. Ness.
Okay, yeah, he's
Yeah.
already like.
Wait for the
These are
freaking
honorable.
list.
These are
number
honorable
one.
mentions. So I guess we'll kick it off. Adam,
They already got their pitchforks and torches going. We didn't even say our top 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
this great, this great game wasn't an honorable mention. Well, maybe it's in the list. Ness, calm down.
All right, what's your
Should I
number?
go?
Yeah, what's your number 5, bro?
All right, number 5, Jet Force Gemini.
All right,
For real?
that's what I'm talking about.
For real.
It's a good
Okay.
game.
Riot.
Not just
It
making
is a
sure.
I
great
swear to
game.
God, if 007
But-
GoldenEye is on any of your guys' list,
But hold on.
you'll be
But,
killed in the parking lot.
why is
Just
Jet
kidding.
Force Gemini on your list?
It's a good game.
Like,
Because it's a rare game. It's awesome. I love being able to play as the dog. And like so many games, you just play humanoid people. So like I'm always happy to not play like a humanoid figure, like you get to in like Lion King or Land Before Time or anything like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a human. I can actually use my imagination and be creative. And I'm a dog with a turret on my back.
turn that
Have
down.
Have you
Alright.
guys ever played Jet Force Gemini?
I have not.
It's actually a good game.
I'm sure it is. It was a rare game in their prime.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good one.
I haven't personally played it, but you know, it's. I'm sure it's good.
It's on
Like-
a list.
Exactly, it's on a list.
Yeah.
All right, man. So my number 5 is Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer.
That's a weird way
Yeah.
to say Jet Force Gemini.
Wait, what was your number 5, Andrew?
Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer.
Spoiler alert.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's
Like
pretty
it just in terms
No
of
shit.
racing games are. I feel like the N64 is actually like a really underrated racing game system. Like Mario Kart was really good. Diddy Kong Racing, Cruising the
Yes.
World. Like they
No.
have a lot
It's
of.
just Cruising World.
Wait, what happened to Bill of
Cruising.
Fate?
Cruising the World's
that
fantastic,
video.
but
Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is one of the best fucking games ever made.
yeah, dude, it's really good. Like everything
It
just
is
from
a good game.
everything from how you just build the ships to how you go through the like being able to repair your ship mid like
modify it.
yeah,
customize
exactly.
it.
There's just like a lot of depth to a racing game that you don't expect, especially in a
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it.
Uh,
in a God, what am I thinking of? A movie title?
Yeah,
a
it is
tie-in,
technically.
a tie-in
well,
game.
not necessarily. Like a lot of Star Wars games, yeah, there's movies based. I mean,
No,
obviously
yeah,
Star
but
Wars
that
came
one
first, movies-
specifically said Episode 1 Pod
Yeah,
Racer,
so
which
did,
wasn't
Battle-
made till after the movie came
and
out.
I didn't get to be here for the PlayStation 1 where Star Wars Jedi Power Battles was on there.
That-
Star
I
Wars
mean,
Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles.
This is different, though.
And it was extremely good. No, it's
Anyway, I know.
not. It was Episode 1.
What the fuck is this conversation?
I don't know. Miguel,
Anyway,
what's your number?
go
5?
ahead.
Fucking, I forgot. No.
I want to before we move on. The arcade version of this was so much fun because you had like the dual.
Oh yeah,
But it
man.
was a
fucking
completely
thing.
different game.
Yeah,
Like
but
arcade was completely
oh
different.
man, I just how you drove was fucking weird and cool at the same time.
It
You're
was
like,
really cool, yeah, but I mastered those maps. So when I went to the arcade, I was like, this isn't the fucking same map. What is
yeah,
this?
right. It was totally different.
I real quick mentioned Tony Hawk's Pro Skater as a honorable mention for a second, and I had second thoughts, and I'm kind of considering making that number 5 instead of Bomberman 64.
All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I love the shit out of Bomberman 64. I just love Bomberman, honestly. I need to get the new one on Switch, but I
Yeah.
forgot about it.
Andrew sold the
You
shit
still
out of
get it.
that
It's,
when
it's
no one
not like
wanted
it's
it.
gone.
Yeah, I'm just saying I forgot about it. I haven't picked it up because I just been playing a lot of Destiny 2.
Hell
so,
yeah.
so which one's your number 5 then?
It's Bomberman.
Boomerman.
It's Boomerman.
All right,
It's tied.
Boomerman?
Boomerman and-
Bomberman 64 is so much fun. Like, you played it, Andrew?
I might have. I can't remember like off the top of my head though.
It's just
It's-
Bomberman in 3D, right?
Yeah, but it's all cutesy and
Yeah,
it's,
I
and
know.
it's fun and it looks like they use like very similar graphic style to Smash Bros. Just the textures and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, textures wise, it's like when you look at it, kind of has a similar look to it.
Okay.
You're just like, I don't fucking know. But yeah, either way,
Yeah.
Bomberman 64.
I don't have too much to say about it other than it was fun as fuck.
So do you have a number 5, Brandon? 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
no,
you said you
I
were-
have 5.
Okay.
I think.
I should have pissed before the show.
Oh, look at that! It didn't save. Oh well, I know them off the top of my head. My 4 and 5 were kind of tied, but I'll just go with Smash Brothers
Okay.
because I had fun with Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
It was that or Mario Party 2, and I'm like, I don't know. So that's also an honorable mention because that was up there.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel you, man. Super Smash Brothers. If I was basing it like at the time I played it when I was younger, it would be on my list. But like, I really don't think that game's aged well.
Oh, no, not at all.
Me and Miguel disagree
Like
very highly there.
I fucking hate the Nintendo 64 now. Like trying to hold
Well,
that controller, it's like holy shit. Give me some control freaks for this plastic. But it's awful. Like I don't like anything on the 64 anymore. But
You guys remember that?
at the time, yeah, they had a huge old controversy about that. Yeah, I had fun playing Smash Brothers because it was the only time Samus was on in 3D at the time. Because I was a huge
yeah, that's
Metroid
true.
fan, Super Metroid fan. And then when 64 came out, like I was playing on PS1, so when I saw like 64, I saw someone play Smash Brothers, like my neighbor. I'm like, oh fuck yeah!
So how many
got
of you?
Samus.
How many of you tried pausing when Samus got shocked to see her naked?
I was
Never.
like,
You could see
I was
she's
like
totally
6.
naked under her suit, but when you shock with Pikachu, like everyone else, it was bones, but her, you just see her straight up
right.
naked.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't
They
remember
fully
fighting
modeled a
Pikachu.
naked woman.
I didn't play with people
Yep.
that play with Pikachu.
Pretty
No,
interesting.
like
interesting.
one of the things I always remember hearing as a kid, like those rumors about who the locked characters were. Goku's totally in this
It's
game.
fucking Goku.
Could you imagine though, if Goku was in Smash Brothers?
I mean,
Come on.
Sure, I guess I could.
No, I mean not like 64 Smash Brothers, but like Smash Brothers now, like Smash Brothers 4.
it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I know he would rip apart everyone.
It's not.
If we had Teen Gohan, this would be over.
It's not.
See,
You
that's the
gotta-
thing,
when you crossover games, you take
No.
that kind of shit out the window.
Yeah,
but-
and that's
Yeah.
why I don't play Smash Brothers after Melee. But
All right.
Damn.
All right, Connor, what's your number 5?
Phone. Turn. I want to see my list. I think it busted. I got it right here. Pokemon Snap. That's what it was.
it's a good
Nice.
one.
Yeah, I love Pokemon Snap. It's super fun. I played that more than I probably should have, but
What do you mean you should have?
like a lot.
Wasn't like Hey You Pikachu where you're talking to yourself.
Oh, I did that too.
Yeah,
But that's
okay.
not on the list. That actually is an honorable mention, actually, since no one else mentioned that.
We're
But,
just gonna everything that you mentioned is gonna be an honorable mention.
Pokemon Snap, though, oh, it's so nice. It's so happy and whimsical, and you can throw like Pokeballs and stuff at Squirtle's head, and he goes.
yeah, you threw balls at.
One of my favorite things in that game, I rented it when I was younger from Hollywood Video, and I would be playing with the mic, and I would just like the very first mission, you're supposed to like babysit these Caterpies.
That's
No, you're
Pikachu.
talking about Hey You
Hey,
Hey
You
You Pikachu.
No,
yeah,
no,
we're
Pokemon
talking
Snap
about
is
Snap.
the
Oh,
game.
I'm so sorry.
Hey You Pikachu
photography.
was the honorable mention. 'cause
Yeah,
he talked
Pokemon
about
Snap's a great game though. Also,
Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
Yeah.
like I feel like it's a real missed opportunity that they didn't make a new one for the 3DS. With
It's
the,
really
with the
interesting they
rotoscope or
didn't.
Whatever
Yeah,
it's
right?
called.
Even like an
Yeah.
app on the phone, like it's really interesting they haven't done anything like that.
Right, if they implemented
Especially
it
with
into, like,
Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been really good
That's
as an augmented
insane.
reality on your phone. Would've been
Get
super
Niantic on the phone.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Maybe
All
there's
right.
like a rights
So
thing.
I think that takes us to our top
No.
4.
Cool. Yeah.
Adam, what's your number 4, man?
Whoa.
Bomberman Hero.
Whoa, another Bomberman.
Okay.
Bomberman
Yeah.
deserves to love. Bomberman is the best character, video game character ever created. Period.
Whoa.
That's the
Some
Bomber
fighting
Hero is
words.
the adventure one, huh?
What?
It's like
Yeah, it's more the Invention one. It had the follow up, Bomberman Hero Second Attack.
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. They had an adaptation of it on Game Boy Advance, I think, like a port.
Yeah, I think that's the one I played. Like it's kind I don't really
Or
remember
no, I
it
think I'm
that
thinking of
much.
Tournament.
The Bomberman
Fuck, I
that
don't
that made me think of on Game Boy Advance was the one where you like collect Pokemon.
Yeah. That,
Oh yeah.
If we
Is
do
that-
Game Boy
is that-
Advance, that'll be
that's,
on mine for sure.
That's Bomberman Tournament.
That is Tournament.
Okay, I was about to say, is it a port? So the N64 version, Bomberman Adventure, is it like a 3D
Hero.
platformer?
Hero.
I'm sorry. Is it like a 3D platformer in the same sense of Conker's Bad Fur Day, or
Bomberman's not a
Yeah.
platformer.
he just said
Yeah,
that
it's a
one is?
platformer. It's a
What?
platformer like Bomberman
Yeah.
Hero.
What?
Bomberman
That's
Hero
weird.
is not regular Bomberman.
Oh.
Yeah. Connor's just sitting there like it's
don't know
not
anything
the
It's a
same.
Bomberman Generations
Yeah.
on the
Oh.
GameCube.
This is like Sonic Generations. What is this?
Sonic Generations is fantastic, man.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can take my word for it.
No, I just really I'm loving that Sonic Forces is getting shit on already.
yeah.
Like I am so happy because the first time I saw that you can create an OC like Sonic in a game, like geez, that's just Tumblr
You're
in a
like-
video game form. But I love that
DeviantArt?
it's not doing
DeviantArt,
well.
yeah.
And DeviantArt, yeah. It makes me so happy.
Anyway, Adam, what
I don't
did
know,
you
it-
love
it
about
never-
Bomberman Hero?
I don't know, man. Oh yeah, what did you love about Bomberman Hero?
I mean, just everything. It's a great platformer. It's Bomberman. It's easy to play. It's easy to speed run. It's got great music, good boss fights.
It's got
Yeah,
a
I mean,
sweet soundtrack.
there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing not to like about it. I have 3 versions of it. I have the North America version, the European version, and the Japanese version.
Wow.
Japanese version is the easiest because it actually saves your upgrades and your currency. So the Japanese had it really easy with that. Because in America, like you can never get above 4 health, and it's really, really hard, especially to speedrun it.
Wow.
That's really backwards.
Zowie, zowie.
Bayonetta was like that.
I love
Hmm.
Bayonetta.
Actually, they
Oh,
made it easier
shit.
for Japanese.
It's gonna bring up platinum games now.
Yeah.
God, I love it.
Interesting. You know, like a really underrated platformer on the N64, which I actually didn't put in my list, is Glover.
Oh,
Yeah,
Glover.
that one's so much fun.
Interesting.
I love
Yeah.
Glover.
Yeah.
I thought that was only on PS1.
No.
Very interesting
Well,
mechanics.
No.
Yep.
It's a very weird mechanic anyway.
All right, so my number 4 is a game I loved as a kid, and I played somewhat recently, and it actually held up fairly well, so it made it on my list. A Spider-Man 64.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's a
Good.
really good like 3D action game.
Spider-Man games usually don't hold up at all.
No,
Like,
it's
that's-
it's
So
it's
Spider-Man
impressive.
2.
it's
Yeah.
pretty good. The only
Sure,
thing
fair
that
enough.
playing it that didn't hold up, the music is fucking awful.
Yeah.
We're about to
Well, the
hear.
PS1,
Yeah.
I wonder if
Oh,
it's the
no.
same one because in PS1 it just played the whole Spider-Man
No.
does whatever, and it just kept playing that over and over. And I remember rented it one time.
No, this is
Went back so quick.
oh man, this is just like really bad rock music. Go ahead and turn it up, Connor.
Yeah, we hear it.
That's fucking dope. What are you talking about? Man, maybe I'm just too 90s. I think that's
Yeah, so like
That's
that
cool. I
that one
like it.
isn't that bad, but like I remember very specifically there's a boss fight versus Venom, and it just plays the same guitar riff on like a 10-second loop, and it's obnoxious.
What's up with everybody ignoring Venom all of a sudden in video games or movies in general?
I mean, he has his own standalone movie coming out.
Oh, really?
With Tom Hardy
Oh, what the
playing
fuck?
Venom.
Yes, sir.
When did this happen?
Like they announced it a few months ago. Oh God,
cool.
there it is!
What's wrong with this? It sounds awesome. We're playing Doom?
It's just this over and over again.
What's wrong with that?
It's like 3 seconds. It's just a riff.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want there, though. Like
yeah,
you can do
just
whatever you want in
imagine
your
that
head.
Venom kicking your balls.
Yeah,
and you have to listen to that for 4 minutes.
It's fucking cool. That's just a background where you can make up your own song on top of
I
it. It's
completely
rad.
disagree. But yeah, the game is really
Whatever.
fun, has really good, like, there's multiple costumes which affect your stats in the game. The levels are good. Stan Lee is in it. He's the narrator. You actually fight Venom. You fight the Lizard. You can pick up items and throw them. Super cool. You end up later in the game, you face Carnage.
That's the Carnage themes right here.
Like,
I
it's
like
just
Carnage.
really good. Like, really underrated game. Anyway, so that's my number 4.
Is it the same as the PS1 version? Because that means I would have played it.
I believe it is.
Then I
The
played it
N64 version, I think, is better
a
though.
little bit.
Miguel, what is your number 4, man? Oh wait, what were you gonna say something about that, Adam? Have you played Spider-Man 64?
Oh yeah, I had nightmares the first time that Carnage and Dr. Octopus merged,
Oh,
and was I mean, like, I don't know if that happened in the comics or not, but when it happened in the game, I was like, this is literally the worst thing that Carnage could possibly do. And then I was like, I don't want to fight this, and the game was like, I got you, fam, because all you can do is run. So you literally just run away from this monstrosity, and that's it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Spider-Man, nice knowing you, dude.
That's the best thing
Yeah.
I've ever heard about a video game. It's like, but I didn't want to fight this, so the video game was like, I got you. It just took
I
care
got
of
you,
it for
fam,
me.
just run.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
just running.
But yeah, like
love that.
everything you want Spider-Man to be, you can do in that game. Like you can crawl in the buildings. You can use your web swing and just go around the levels. Like it's really good.
Sounds like Insomniac is taking hits.
If you haven't played it, go back and play it because it's a game that's actually worth your time. I feel, yeah. So all right, Miguel, what's your number 4?
My number 4 might be a little bit controversial because it is Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
That's okay. That didn't even make my honorable mention.
Oh.
It's
Not
not-
even close.
I'll be on. Spoiler: Legend of Zelda's not even on my list.
Yeah, not even fucking close, dude.
Okay,
Hate.
cool, yeah. I loved it. I was super, like, not enraptured, what's the word? It just captured me, you know?
Enveloped.
Like, the world and everything, enveloped. I was so enveloped in this world.
It's a very good game.
It's
But
engrossed.
I
That's the
didn't
word
get
you're
to, like, experience it for myself completely because I was how fucking old? Like, 4?
Yeah, how do you know what
so-
to do with the little girl and the chickens and the dad
Yeah,
sleeping?
I
fucking-
never actually got like the Temple of Time
Damn.
like level,
So
not
you,
level. You know, I never
you never became an adult.
I never became an
Yeah.
adult myself. I only got to watch my older brother's friend play through it.
Should play it on the 3DS. That version is very clean.
It
I
is a
don't
lot
play
better,
anything on the
but
3DS.
it still sucks.
That's the way to do it.
I can objectively see why people like The Legend of Zelda. I'm
Mhm.
just not a huge fan for the most part.
I actually
don't-
am a huge fan of it, but surprisingly, this just didn't make it on my list because of everything that's on the N64.
It's a really bad game.
I
really
disagree.
don't like Legend of Zelda games. I like Legend
Really?
of Zelda, like the lore and the story.
What
but
about
jeez, I hate
LTTP? Link to the Past.
Link to the Past? I have not played.
Ooh,
What
that
about
one's
Link to
good.
Awakening?
That's Link to the Past is probably a little bit more.
I know.
your
I've watched
style.
playthroughs of it, and I'm like, well, I enjoy things about Legend of Zelda. I don't enjoy playing the game.
So what about the old ones though? Like
Yeah, like Link
Top
to the
Down is it's a little better.
better?
It's better,
That's
but
fair.
the 3D ones, I remember trying to play
Tell you-
Twilight Princess. I'm like, this looks cool, and I still have it. I think.
Did you
on
get
GameCube,
past
and I'm
at
like,
least the tutorial area? The
yeah,
one on
after
Village?
like 2 fucking hours.
It's long. Yeah,
Stupid.
it's
Yeah,
kinda
you know, it's kind of unpopular, but I think like one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games is the Four Swords.
Four Swords Adventures.
Like, and that
Adventures?
one just isn't like the other Legend of Zelda games. Like, that's one you could just hang out with your bros.
Four
and-
Sword Adventures or Four Swords that was on the GBA cart with Link to the Past.
the first one.
The Adventures on GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really cool. I like both of them. But
What I will say is that even though I'm not a fan, man, I love the Legend of Zelda music.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. To be honest.
What's the guy's name?
Koji
Jason?
Kondo.
Yeah.
Yes.
David Holt says I get a lot of hate because my favorite Zelda is the Minish Cap.
Oh wow.
What about Spirit
That's-
Tracks, where you
that
get
is
trains?
surprising.
Yeah. Right.
What about the train
It could be
one?
worse.
People like that one, right? With the trains?
Shut up, Brandon.
People
What's
like
your
that
number
one,
4?
right?
I have a funny story about Spirit Tracks.
Uh-oh.
Was the other one, not Spirit Tracks, that was also on the DS.
Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass. I played Phantom Hourglass. I played maybe like 3 or 4 dungeons of it, and I was like, I'm not digging this. And then,
But it's better than the train one.
but it was just funny because I was like, I couldn't get over the motion controls, like just controlling, like because it's all motion controls. And then my mom like surprised me with Spirit Tracks at one point, and I was like, I was like, oh, thanks, and I had to be like really nice about it. But
told me this story,
I was very appreciative. But I think I played it for about 30 minutes. And I was like, it's the same thing. You can't play it. I was really bummed.
It's the same thing.
I was like,
it doesn't work.
I thought it was so nice and beautiful that my mom got me a game like by random surprise. Honestly, I think she got it like it was on Costco or something. You know, and she was like, "Oh, it's Zelda," you know. And then I was just like,
Dude,
"Oh,
see,
of all games."
Let me tell you, this is the perfect example of what I go through on a daily basis, where a mom or a dad comes in and like, "Oh, do you need help finding anything? Oh, I'm just looking for a new game for my kid. Okay, what kind of games do they like? I don't know. They just play games. Aren't they all the same? Like, fucking no. They're like
heard about
movies. You watch TV, right?
I like this
Fuck.
NES Master, NES Master, or NES SNES Master. That's what it is. So, or if you want to be all NES, SNES Master.
What?
He's like, thanks for Spirit Tracks. Slowly moves towards the trash can.
Yeah, but see, like you deal with parents. They come in like, oh, I need to buy a new game for my kid. They want a new game.
Have you
Okay, what kind of game? I don't know. They just play video games.
Like, have you heard the word of our Lord
Fuck.
and Savior Hidetaka Miyazaki?
Yeah, seriously. Let's start with Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Take Demon
All
Souls.
So what's your number 4, Brendan?
Oh yeah, Pokemon Stadium.
Nice. The first one, not the second one?
No, I didn't know there were more until later on.
What?
I know.
Do the mini games.
Hey, I was an older than you guys kid. When the Nintendo 64 was around, I was like 8 when it came out.
I'm just young.
So, either way, yeah, I didn't know there was one after the first one until I was an adult. But I really like Pokemon Stadium. And fucking people up with Blastoise.
Oh shit.
Nice.
And Vaporeon. And Articuno.
All right, man.
And
Is it
all the
gonna
water
have-
Pokemon.
That's pretty good.
I don't know if
man.
it'll say the Clefairy parts. It's just the beat.
I mean, there's not really much to say beyond. It's
It-
fun to play Pokemon in 3D from your Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
All right.
Man, I love Pokemon Stadium. That
Right?
shit, like me and my brother used to play it all the time.
Dude, it
And,
takes so long nowadays. Like, I don't even have the patience, but it was so much fun back in the day.
Freaking Clefairy says though was like the bane of my childhood brain.
It's Pokemon Stadium's one of those games that I make sure no matter like what computer I own, I might get chastised for this in the chat, but
ROMs.
I have an emulator, an
Hacks.
N64 emulator on almost all my computers, just because when I hang out with
pirate.
yeah, exactly. When I hang out with friends, though, I'll just be like, "Hey, you want to play a quick game of Pokemon Stadium?"
Oh,
and
level
like
50?
99% of the time, they're just like, "Yeah, man."
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
let's choose all level 50 Pokemon, and we won't even make it past the first Pokemon dying before we all give up because
Yeah,
we're bored.
well, it's just the way it is. All right, Connor, what's your number 4, brother?
My number 4 is Banjo Kazooie.
Nice.
Nice.
I like Banjo.
Someone
First
earlier,
one.
someone
Banjo
earlier,
Banjo
in the,
Tooie is the second one. I think it was a different
Yes.
name
Yeah.
altogether. Get out of
someone
here.
earlier in the chat was complaining that Banjo Kazooie wasn't on our list. So
It
Hey, it
wasn't
was
on the
on-
honorable mentions.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
on
exactly.
3 of our
because
honorable
it wasn't on
mentions.
honorable mentions because it was on a legit fucking list.
good job.
I fucking love Banjo Kazooie. I love Banjo Tooie as well, but Banjo Kazooie, I remember just being fully engrossed in it when I was a kid. Just rat, 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 rat. Fucking Gruntilda's the best.
That was pretty good.
Oh, but yeah, fucking.
Is that your whole segment about Banjo Kazooie? You
Just start
I
making
mean,
all the
that's what
noises.
it is. I mean, every time someone talks, it makes those sounds. So yeah.
Yeah, fucking. Oh my god. See, the thing that was really fun about Banjo Kazooie is they were small levels, but they were packed. Like there was just a lot of vertical movement, hidden stuff going around, and it was just a nice, clean platformer. I mean, if you don't like platformers, you're gonna have problems anyways. But
But Banjo Kazooie is good.
Banjo Kazooie.
It made way for Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter, which I love to death because they're also PlayStation titles. Interesting. What do you know?
And also, if without Banjo Kazooie, there wouldn't be the modern classic, which is ukulele.
Yeah, okay.
Ukulele.
Okay, or the modern classic of the remake of Ratchet and Clank that actually did really well.
Then there was Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, exactly. See
Yeah.
how we're going downhill from here.
It's all everything kind of fell off. Nuts and
Except
Bolts
for,
was-
PlayStation rocking
Really?
it with
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
To me.
Ah, it was bad.
Wonder if they're gonna remake.
I think Nuts and Bolts
Spyro.
is again like one of those games. How people now are looking at Sonic Unleashed as it's actually better than what it was
Nuts
when it
and
was first
Bolts-
released. I
Nut-
feel like that's how people are looking at Nuts and Bolts now.
I wonder.
Nuts and Bolts wasn't terrible.
I wonder if
but
all
it
this comes
wasn't
from like.
good.
Yeah, I wonder if all this like, I don't know what you would call it, but like rehashing of these games that are fucking
Bad.
terrible and awful and forgotten for a reason. are coming back into popularity because people like on YouTube, like Game Grumps or whatever, keep playing like really long playthroughs where people get really into it, that they want to kind of recreate that for themselves, you know?
Maybe they get all the jokes that they throw around. while
Yeah,
they're playing
because
it,
the
too.
game is still the same fucking game from when it sucked. So it's like, what changed to make it
Speaking about
suck
games
less.
that
Perception change.
I would say
exactly? But that's what I mean, like from people on YouTube playing the game.
I mean, well, like for those two examples, Banjo, Nuts and Bolts, and Sonic Unleashed, it's that people were expecting certain things from the franchise, and when it deviated, people were
Sonic
just
really, come
initially
on.
upset.
When Sonic Unleashed came out, at that point,
Well,
were
no,
they
but
really
that's
expecting something different?
but that's real. I believe Sonic Unleashed came out before the Black Knight. It came out before all of those other ones.
Not
it came out
06.
after Adventure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But Adventure, even though I don't
Good
think it's
point.
that great, people think Adventure and Adventure 2 are good
Adventure
games.
2,
No,
yeah,
they
that was
don't.
amazing.
They only
Yeah,
do
Adventure
because
2
of
is-
on YouTube, people are like,
But
this
that's
game
what
is fucking
that's what I'm
horrible.
saying though. Is Sonic Unleashed? It just wasn't looked at as good because people were clamoring for Sonic 4 at the time.
You know which game genuinely surprises me though? If
Yeah.
we're going on this trend of games that were marketed as not marketed, but received as bad or annoying, and then are like worshipped now, is Pokemon Third Gen, Ruby, Sapphire.
What's wrong with
Dude,
that? Well, that's
that-
been good since
No,
the
no, no,
beginning. Calm down.
No, that's the thing. Like us as kids have always liked it, but when it came out critically, and then people who were like teenagers and whatnot said that the ocean and swimming was like way too much and it was garbage.
Okay, to be
See,
fair,
but-
when Ruby and Sapphire
yeah.
came out, I was like
It was like looked at as one of the
That's,
bad
13,
versions.
14. I was older because
I
I
don't know.
missed that generation until later. Like, I
Oh.
played Gold version, and then I was like, oh, I'm too old for Pokemon.
Ruby Sapphire
But-
actually have always been my
It
favorite.
has
I've
been.
told you.
Same
yeah,
thing, yeah, that-
I got to Emerald like years later on the DS because it had the Game Boy cartridge. And I played Emerald. I'm like, this game is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, I didn't know people
honestly,
hated it.
it was my favorite gen. Like that and first geners. Like I toss between them being my favorite.
Second's mine.
And,
Gold. Gold
Yeah,
Radio?
I always thought it was weird, but it was like I was a hipster for liking 3 for some reason. Because so many
No.
people talk shit on it.
It's so good.
All right.
But now everyone's praising it like all the
It's,
time.
I mean, because after that, we got what we have now, with like Diamond and all this 3D.
Diamond
and
Pearl
I'm
was
like,
fun. but-
Diamond was fine, but I played it once, and that's all I ever need to play of Diamond or that generation. Like, I don't have the need to, or I don't feel the need to play White and Black 2, all of that.
All right.
I only like 1, 2, 3, and then it gets to 3D, it just changes everything.
I feel you.
Personally, it's
No, I understand, man.
That's me.
So we're gonna go ahead and take Adam's number 3 on his N64 list, and then we're probably gonna have to go to commercial. So Adam, let's go ahead and hear your list, brother, or your number 3.
Number 3 is, it's not too exciting. It's Super Mario 64.
That's solid.
But it has to be on here. It's just a fun game to play and ages very well.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you can go back to and still play, and it doesn't look bad, because some N64 games graphically have just
they're horrible.
Yeah.
exactly. I completely agree. It's one of those games you could show like any Mario fan or even like just a platforming fan, and they would like it.
I literally love Mario 64. Like
Literally, not
literally, not figuratively.
I
So you
don't.
physically.
I
love
have
it?
physically loved Mario.
Oh.
No,
I don't like Mario 64. It's not even close to my list.
that's because
That's
you're
fine.
a terrible person.
I know.
No,
I know.
but
At least
oh
you
man,
admit it.
yeah.
No, I really don't like that game.
Mario 64 to me is solid platforming, solid adventure.
All right, let's
and
try that
progression.
acceleration though. Let's go forward. All right, now we're moving.
Yeah.
I can't stand
Long jump.
that
Get,
movement.
get good.
But getting started, like,
Yeah.
I like tight controls,
Yeah,
and that
it,
has the opposite. Of
it has the most solid, tightest
No,
controls
you're
ever.
floating as
Mario,
shit. You're
Mario
like on ice the whole
does
time, like
exactly
woo!
what
Let's
you
kick up
wanna
some
do in
dirt.
that game.
It does not.
it does.
Have you
Most
played
so-
Dark Souls 3?
I have actually. Miguel
Those are tight
can vouch for
controls.
me. I have played Dark Souls 3, not the whole thing, but part of it.
Whatever, those tight controls. All you need is like 2 seconds of the game to
Uh,
go. Oh wow.
Adam, do you feel like the Super Mario 64 has tight controls?
I mean, if you get good,
Yeah, get
There's
fucking
you have to
good.
get good to get the controls.
Not even that though. Like he totally controls perfectly.
it's
Like
yeah, for a plumber who does parkour on the side, that's exactly what you should
Okay,
expect.
so I played Crash Bandicoot before 64, like Mario 64. Crash Bandicoot controls way better. Yeah. You try playing Crash Bandicoot. Go left, right, go forward, up, down, everything. You play Mario 64. Try running, and there's a little. All right, now we're running. Like a big old acceleration. Like that's floating me.
That's not floaty.
It is.
That's, no.
Because there's a drag. If I click the analog stick all the way to one direction, I should be going in that direction at the top speed, not having to work my way up in a platformer. That's just me, though. That's why I don't like Mario 64.
I mean, that's how Mario's been since the beginning.
Exactly. What did I say about Nintendo?
All right.
I don't really like Nintendo.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut to commercial. People on YouTube, you aren't gonna hear anything. So Connor is just gonna play
Check his groove thing.
play a song.
Play a song.
Yeah, just play some music for the next 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Bingo,
And
where you
then
going?
we'll be back
I have to
in
go.
5 for
Let's
people
keep,
who are
we'll just
listening.
keep Mario
yeah.
going.
Yeah, just play that for the next 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. And Adam, go ahead and stay on the line, okay?
Yeah.
All right, if I have to.
OBS just won't do. Chaoticradio.com.
Can Connor just talk to me for a while?
Howdy.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm a big fan of your voice.
Oh,
I
thank you.
love watching videos with you in it. I wish that Andrew would tag your name in all of
Just
them, so I
put
didn't
Connor.
watch videos that you weren't in.
Wow. Oh, that's good.
Because I'm like, I've watched every single Impress Us, and I'm like, dang it, but I know he's done some other reviews, so now I got to watch every lousy video to see if Connor's in there.
Wait, what were you saying though about phone or something?
You talking to me, or?
I can chat to you there, but actually I didn't talk to you.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, he's yelling at
What was-
people.
I've been looking. What are you talking about though?
I was just saying look, because I was trying to remind you about the commercials.
Oh yeah, I've already got it queued up. I've had it ready. I set that up before we got there. Yeah, man. We were actually thinking of starting to do thumbnails with our faces on them and everything. So you'd end up seeing my face on anything that I'm in.
That would make it a lot easier for me.
Oh yeah. So
I mean, time is money.
time is
so-
and you're like, I don't want to watch this if it's Andrew's video.
Yeah, I've watched like thousands of Andrew videos.
Are you
Like,
secretly the baseball guy?
I don't think so.
Because there's a guy on there. He says like fucking. He's like Andrew's voice is a truffle butter bitch, and then
That's not me.
yeah, and he'll be like, "Can we get Connor on here?" And he's like, "I fucking hate this guy, dude." It was so fucking funny. Like we're laughing. He's like our biggest fan / hater.
No, that's not me.
He like literally watches like every one of our videos, and then he comments on probably 80% of them. And if it's not the video I'm in, it's hate. And if I'm in it, he's like, I love this. It's really funny.
I agree. You bring that professionalism to it. It's really good. I was watching like your latest Impress Us. I forgot what the game was. And then right afterwards it auto played Giant Bomb video, and I was like, it was like the same quality, and like you had the same like voice kind of, and I was like,
Oh yeah, my tone and all that shit.
I was like, man, I fucking love this. It just lends itself so well. It's like nostalgic.
Ah, nice.
So I'm like, that's fucking sweet. And like I've been like working a lot with like voice actors and recording voice lines and stuff like that. So like,
Oh, I want to do
if
that.
if it sounds kind of weird, like I apologize, but yeah, like because I've been really having like listen to people like do interviews for voice work, and I'm just like, oh god, no.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get you to do some lines, I will definitely send some
Oh yeah,
your way.
fucking. Just let Andrew know, and he'll give them to me, and then I'll do whatever.
Sweet.
That's
Yeah,
how
I
it
will
works.
do that for sure.
Hey everybody, we got 2 minutes.
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
So how much am I getting paid for this?
Ask
Jack
Andrew.
shit.
Maybe you're getting a handshake and something. I don't know.
All right, so you're gonna fly all the way over here to Raleigh, North Carolina, and give me a handshake.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, me and Cassie are gonna go fly over there next year.
He'll put up a Craigslist ad hiring for handshake, and then the guy will just like meet you at I don't know a bathroom at Walmart.
No, I mean, I just want to meet Connor, man. I don't want
What
to
the
meet.
fuck,
I don't
man?
want to meet Andrew.
Fuck you, brother.
I've got a fanboy. It's awesome.
Man,
Yeah.
I got fucking.
I've got two
I got
fanboys.
John St. John to do a voiceover for him, and he's bitching over there.
I mean, our relationship has run its course. Like you did a live stream. You like serenaded me on a live stream.
I did.
Like while we were playing horror games late at night. So
Nice.
like, that's it. That's the peak of our relationship. It's time to move on, Andrew.
Horror
Never.
games.
I will never move on.
All right, then can we at least rope Connor into it,
That's fine.
or at least he can commentate when we're messing around?
Absolutely.
That'll be pretty funny.
You should have heard yesterday, man. Yesterday during the show I was engineering here, they had the bassist for a band named Ozone, an old Motown group, and man, his voice was smooth as silk. It was amazing.
Damn.
Yeah.
SS Master is getting really inappropriate in this chat. This chat is lit, by the
We've
way.
got 30 seconds.
I don't know what bag of Skittles means. I don't want to Google it.
Oh, 30 seconds, all quiet.
Hey, I am Magikarp Fly, and you are listening to the kind of gaming show. Fuck, I fucked up.
We don't have any more sound bites yet.
I haven't made him yet.
Nah.
You told me to do that one.
Yeah, I know, but you forgot to play Stinger first.
Stinger.
Oh, there was a
Chaotic
it was in there.
Radio.
Play Stinger.
Okay, we'll play another stinger. I had one in there, but okay.
Go.
Play it.
How about this one?
It's raw, it's uncensored, it's live 24/7. It's chaoticradio.com.
There you go.
And we're
All
back.
right, cool. And we're
There's your
back.
stinger number 2.
Do we want to close the door?
Oh yeah. Hey,
Brandon.
hey, Brandon,
Oh.
can you go close the studio door?
Oh, it's
Welcome back to the second hour of the Kind of Gaming Show at Chaotic Radio. We're still here with the Adam Agro, and
Legit, close it. Come on, man.
I'm a boy!
yeah, he's the leader,
There it is.
the creator of Red South City. We're not talking about his genitals.
Yeah, we are.
Well, we are.
Well, he's not
but-
the creator of that.
Are you sure?
His parents would be.
Whoa. That's a good one.
Fair point. All right. So last thing we left off on was Adam's number 3, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say my number 3.
Clay Fighter. Oh.
No, WWF No Mercy.
Oh my
Close
God.
enough.
Oh my god.
Of course,
Dude,
it's something
Hate on
weird.
that? It's such a good
That
game.
is not weird. That is the wrestling game that all wrestling games, like, that's the standard.
That's fair.
It has a fantastic story mode, a creator wrestler that all of the ones are based off of now. Has a huge roster.
Wait,
like
does it have a
unblockables.
character creator like the modern ones?
No, that's what started it.
Okay, because that character creator is nuts.
It's like the
Like-
it's the proto character creator.
Fair enough.
And like literally the wrestling games before No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 were really basic.
Oh.
And this system in these games created what all the wrestling games use today.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which
I
are
don't think it was good enough
WWE
by then,
2K.
though.
It was
This game is-
honestly, I like it because of the simplicity. It's like one of those things where I like Super Nintendo baseball games and like NES, but I
If-
don't like current ones mostly.
Like this seems like an odd choice, but if you actually go and look at people's top lists or just like games that are really highly rated on the N64, it's WWF No Mercy or
Crazy.
WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, of course, WrestleMania 2000.
Crazy.
No Mercy's
Even
better
though
than
No
WrestleMania
Mercy-
2000.
No Mercy's really good.
yeah, it is. It's super fun.
Miguel,
Yo,
Yeah, what's your number,
number
3,
2,
brother?
3.
don't ever tell me what to do.
But what did
Would
Adam
you-
have?
Oh,
in his
No,
did
it's
you
your
ever play
number 3.
WWF? I know you're a big wrestling fan, Adam. Did you play WWF No Mercy?
Yeah, duh. No. Yeah, I played that stuff.
Sweet.
All right.
All right. Go ahead. Miguel.
Yeah,
It's
for me,
good. It's good. I like the replays.
you're good. For me, Super Smash Brothers.
Wow, that's a cool game,
I fucking loved that game.
right?
That was
It's the only
fun.
time we got Samus on the 64.
Right? I don't think I was any good at it, but I loved playing as Pikachu and just sitting on one end of a Hyrule Castle, and just sending bolts down down
God,
map.
you're one of those
I
people.
like playing
It
a
was so
Samus and seeing her
fun.
naked when she got zapped by you.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so fun. Fucking Mario's always been bullshit.
Right.
Donkey Kong was pretty good back then.
Man,
As-
you're one of those people
oh,
that just
man.
bounces around from character to character.
Kinda, yeah.
Same with like Overwatch. I
actually,
always stick to
no.
one.
In the more recent ones, I'm Captain Falcon all the time because the Knee of Justice is so satisfying.
I was
It
him
is
for a while.
He's great.
I did play as Captain Falcon for a while. It was fun.
Yeah. I didn't play him so much back then, but Andrew and I went to the Retro Gaming Expo in Ontario.
Yeah.
Like 9 months ago,
Yeah.
and we tried to play Super Smash Brothers, which they had there, and these two dudes that like, I think they were probably good, maybe they weren't, and we were just that bad.
Right.
But yeah, we got our shit stomped, and I was like, I never knew original Smash Bros could be that intense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
anything
fuck.
can be that intense if you really make it.
Yeah, that's one. Like if they come through with the classic N64, I'll definitely spend a lot of time on that.
Nice. I think I hope
Totally.
if they do the
Doo-doo.
if they do the 64 classic, I really hope that they bundle it with 4 controllers. Just make it like $100 and put 4 controllers in there.
They probably, I mean, they up the ante with 2 controllers with the Super Nintendo. I don't think they'll
I wonder
go
if-
crazy and do
But,
4.
but the N64 is a 4-player console.
Well, I mean, it has 4 ports, sure, but
I wonder if that controller will be usable in a
Yeah.
smaller size.
that is true because they are a lot smaller. They're
Yeah.
considerably smaller.
What do
Well,
you
no, the classic ones.
That's what I mean.
No,
Oh,
they're
you
not.
mean using the classic
Yeah,
controller
using
ports?
a classic 64 controller? No, I mean like because it'll be shrunk for sure. They're not obviously not gonna have full size 64. Controllers.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
like
would
that.
they? Why wouldn't they? They have
Because that's
they
how
have
the
full
Super.
size controllers on the
Because
other
those
ones.
are reasonably
No,
sized.
not really.
Yeah,
fuck?
it's
That-
exactly the same on the Super Nintendo and
So-
the NES Classic.
I
It's the
guess
exact
it
same
might
controller.
be.
I present to you the N64 Hori Mini controller.
Wow, that's beautiful. Why didn't they design that originally the first time?
Don't know.
Like
Hindsight.
that is so much more efficient. Why would you put a D-pad and an analog stick for the same thumb?
Well,
I mean, they're all like that, but not for the 64. Okay, 2
Oh, that
handles,
looks adorable.
2 handles for the same hand.
All right. Anyway, so
yeah,
Brandon, you said that your top 3 games are games that you legitimately like and
Yeah.
hold dearly to you. So I'm
Yeah, I
curious,
love-
what is number 3 for
I
you?
fucking love my top 3.
so what's 3?
What is it?
Star Fox 64.
Ah.
Yeah, a game that has multiple branching paths where the only way to get them all is by playing it like 4 times. That is really, really cool. I like anything with multiple like branching paths that you can't really go back. Like your decisions are permanent kind of thing. And as a kid, I think that's where it started was with 64, like Star Fox, because that thing was so cool. Like there's nothing really else to say other than, oh, did you fight Andros like this? Did you get to this ending? Did you go to the asteroid belt? Like you don't have to do most of the game. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like it's one of those ones where you can skip out entire chunks.
Yeah, like half the game you don't have to actually play, or you can't even play on one playthrough.
Yeah, you have to
It's
play through it
really
multiple
cool.
times.
Yeah, and just like I don't know, everything was just really awesome about it. The music, the gameplay was spot on.
I really
the sound
liked,
effects still hold up.
I really liked 64 for the fact that it like ran smoothly. After on the Super Nintendo, you're at like 12 frames a second and all that stuff. It's
Right.
like it's fun, but it kind of gets graining on the eyes after a while. But then 64 is like, nope, this is perfect. We're gonna be just fine.
You got flashing lights, shoot lasers, shoot the bombs,
Unless
and you're
you
like,
have
"What fuck?
epilepsy.
Where Falco? Where are you going? I'm gonna follow you now." Like
Go,
it's
you
fucking
got-
good,
right?
so fucking good. Anyway,
Nice, man.
I like
think
Star
that-
Fox 64 a lot.
That puts it on you, Connor.
God,
It's
it
done
was
me.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
pass the rock.
I'm just gonna say, fuck you, Brandon, because it's GoldenEye.
Jeez. All right.
Come on,
So-
seriously, like, okay,
Talk about floaty controls over here.
it's fucking. That's not what it's about. It's about me and my brothers staying up night doing fucking 4-man free for all.
That doesn't make it a good game.
That
just
makes
because you have
it-
nostalgic goggles on.
Yeah, and that's because it's my top 5 and
God,
not your
whatever,
top
fine,
5.
whatever. That's why it's not even close.
Oh man, it's seriously, like, okay, yeah, it feels wonky nowadays going back and playing the N64 version, but
Does it?
yeah,
It's been a
yeah.
few years since I've played it.
Yeah,
The
you go
last I
fight
played
4
it-
odd jobs.
it's not
Tell me how it
bad
goes.
though.
Yeah, I played it in high school. and it was
It's
pretty
it's
good. It was
playable and
solid.
fun. It's like, yeah, it's a couch competitive thing.
It is hard to look at that game from now point. Like if someone has not played 007 GoldenEye on the 64 now, and they try playing that thing, I don't know if it'll go over too well.
I mean, it's what it's been like fucking 6 years or something since I played it, and it was
Yeah.
just fine.
You guys are all right.
He just leaves right now.
The pickiest fucking gamer I know, Ryan, to this day, still really likes GoldenEye.
I'm not the pickiest. That's cool.
No, you.
I talk a lot of shit on games.
I don't know. I've shit on already. You know, Legend of Zelda. What is that game? Ocarina of Time is regarded as like the #1 game of all time, and I dislike it with such a passion.
I mean, it's not even on my top 5 list, but
Exactly. but
seriously though, GoldenEye is like really solid. Even though there was another 007 game on the N64. Was it-
Agents Under Fire.
Was that the one, or was it Tomorrow Never Dies or something like World's Not Enough? One of those.
Die another day.
It's one of those two. But
Jeez.
yeah,
Casino Royale.
no, it's not Casino Royale.
Let's go through them all.
But it was one of those
Octopus.
one of the Pierce
Yeah,
Brosnan
Octopus.
films, and it was a game, and it was very much like the same thing, but it just ran smoother and whatnot, and they worked out a bunch of kinks, but it wasn't as popular.
Interesting.
So, I love it.
Popularity is a funny thing, and I think we talked about that a little bit with sports games.
Happens.
Yeah, so we touched on that.
It's like GoldenEye to me is not even the best shooter on the system. Like Turok 2 Seeds of Evil is
Quake
just
is-
better.
Yeah, Quake
Quake is
ran
arguably better, yeah.
I wouldn't say Doom as
But-
much.
I understand
but
why it's on your
But
list.
I'm putting 007 specifically because as a game, it was one of my favorites.
I get it. That's why it's your list, not anyone
That's why
else's.
your
yeah.
list. It is
Adam,
your list.
what's your number 2, brother?
My number 2 is Diddy Kong Racing.
Hell yeah.
That's a good
I know
one.
it's an honorable mention for some of you, but like, because that's one of those ones that I can still go back to today and really enjoy myself.
It's fucking
Most
awesome.
definitely.
I love it.
Yeah.
How was the there was a port. Was it on DS?
Yeah, it was
Yes.
How,
Yep.
how is that faithful to
Fantastic.
the original?
I mean, they just upped the graphics, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all the
Dude,
DS ports have been
they-
pretty good.
They added a few things, but for the controls,
They added a lot of gimmicks. Like, for example, you couldn't get the boost on the hovercraft unless you blew into the microphone.
What?
Yeah.
And I really hate stuff like that because I'll be like, you know, sitting on a plane or something, and I'm just like,
just blowing your DS.
Yeah, blowing your DS.
and people are like, is he gonna get sick or like what the hell is he doing? And I'm like, I just need to get the boost for this level. Okay, I mean, it's a time trial, lady.
It's funny. You know, Diddy, I know it's a good game. It's just I never played it that much.
Oh wow.
So, you know, it like in my group of people, like when we wanted to play Kart Racer, it was just Mario Kart. Or like if we wanted to play Racer, it was Cruising the World or Star Wars Pod Racer.
There was another good one. X-Wing was another good.
X-Wing was good.
64.
Was that on 64?
Yeah.
Because that was originally on PC. I played
Oh, was it?
every Star Wars game. A lot.
All right.
But I know that one was on PC for sure.
Nice, man. I think your number 2 is probably not universe. It like I've never met somebody that's been like, nah.
No, it's fucking good. That's why Mario Kart like took after it now, adding hovercrafts.
This,
and-
I think one thing that
Versus
was
gravity
one of my
and shit.
favorite things about Diddy Kong Racing was that you choose your vehicle. Like, yeah, now Mario Kart does it, but it's like I'm gonna be in a plane while you're in a car. Fuck it.
yeah,
And you have a totally different course compared to who's in the car.
it's fucking cool.
Really? All right, man. I'm totally down with your choice.
Yeah,
My
I
number
love the story mode, the multiplayer. It's all awesome.
I think I mentioned it on here. I'm not sure. It totally sounds like the walrus. He's one of the bosses in the game. It totally sounds like he's saying "screw you" because he cheats. Like he goes before the timer says go, and he's like "screw you."
He might. He probably is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he says.
But it sounds like he says "screw you."
That's funny.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they just
Still
peppered it
think-
in there.
Crash Team.
I mean,
Racing was
it's
the best.
rare, so probably.
Yeah.
My number 2
What is it?
is Pokemon Stadium 2.
Whoa.
Fantastic. It literally took everything that the first one had and just added more Pokemon.
Just
And the
threw
mini
more of
games
it.
were also
Oh yeah.
almost just as good as the first one.
That
if
was
not
the
better.
one with gold and silver involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's one of my favorite games on that was two of them come to mind. One of them you're just playing as Hitmontop and you're trying
Oh,
to just
yeah.
like beat the shit out of each other.
That sounds like
For
fun.
Frenzy?
And yeah, I think so. And then the other one,
No, I'm saying
the
is-
other one, it was like the sushi game where you walk
Okay.
around and you're
That one's so
was-
much fun.
I
Was that
may
two?
have
That was
played
two, huh?
this.
With
Yeah.
The weird
Sounds
lickitung?
really familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that sound.
Yeah, it literally, it's one of those games that, like, if I'm in the mood, I can just sit down, pick my Pokemon, and go through the single player, or I'm just be hanging out with somebody. Hey, do you want to battle really quick? Yeah, and it's one of the few games now where, like if me and Ryan are playing or me and somebody, I'm like, hey, go look the other way while I pick my Pokemon.
Oh
yeah, exactly.
And they're just like and,
right?
like if I'm the one waiting, I'm sitting over there going like half of me's like giddy, like what is he gonna pick? And the
You're
other
gonna
half of me-
see him eventually.
yeah, exactly. The other half is like I'm gonna fuck him up with my picks, and then you get countered, and you're just like, oh man.
They happen to pick the picks perfectly.
Yeah,
against
exactly.
you.
But
Like
they-
it's you know I'm a
So basically, like if it were Brandon, just all electric type.
No, can't do that.
No, yeah,
You
just
Yeah,
like-
can.
stop it. Stop it. No, you
Huh?
can't do that.
it's like everyone like
The only good
Pokemon,
type is water, so stop it.
The only Pokemon I pick like every time is Primeape. So no matter who
Fuck
I'm
outta
facing,
here.
they will always pick at least one psychic Pokemon. It's just like when your Primeape comes out, boy,
He's dead.
he's
Let me
dead.
tell you.
Let me tell you.
That's why you just go all water, all ice, and you're like,
Hey, you
Fuck
have a
you,
you have a
everyone.
good night, NES Master. She says, "Sleepy time, man. You have a great night. Thank you
Oh,
so
yeah,
much for
thanks for
stopping
being
by."
here.
yeah.
That's my number 2.
Good one.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Good stuff.
Miguel, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a little hard sometimes, and it cuts me open. I end up with rectal fissures.
Ah,
No.
Damn.
wow. Fissure is a one-hit KO. So
Oh,
go ahead.
no. My number 2 is finally Super Mario 64.
Hey.
I was gonna say Mario Party 2, but then
That's
I
a good
was
one.
like,
That was close to my list too.
It's so good.
Yeah, Mario Party 2 is
so
excellent.
good. Matter of fact, nah, I'll stick with Mario
No,
64. It was an adventure. It was awesome. Like
That's so good.
you go to a bunch of different places, and it's like, what the fuck is that thing? Why are these cactus cats all around the place? And I don't know, man. It was just, like as a little ass kid, that shit's just mystifying.
Dude, it's
Little ass
still
kid.
good.
Little ass kid.
When I was a young ass child.
You had a little ass when you were a kid.
Hmm.
A little.
Well, no, I
little
was an ass kid.
Oh, you were an ass kid. You just
Yeah.
had ass cheeks for a face.
Yes.
Didn't they make a cartoon about something like that?
South Park had a thing like that.
No,
There was a kid that had
it
an
was
ass face.
called
and then-
Adult Swim, Mr. Ass.
Oh,
whatever
Assy
it was.
McGee.
Assy McGee.
Ass McGee. See, look what you
Yeah.
did. That was a show on you.
There was also a Mad TV thing when they were making fun of Pokemon and they had Asimon. But, I mean, which is weird because Digimon is the Mon thing.
It's
Man.
true.
Mad TV
Is not very
Has
it
always-
smart.
was hit and miss.
No, they had
Yeah.
some good ones because they had some good actors. That
Key and
came
Peele
from
came
that.
from
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
I was gonna
Peele's-
say
I was gonna.
that was the one reason I said Met TV was all right.
One of the
Key and
yeah, I
Peele.
didn't realize until way later. I really loved Coach Hines on Mad TV.
Oh, yeah, there you
and
go,
then I
Key.
watched it recently. I'm like, oh, that's
That's Key.
Michael or Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan
Right.
Michael Key, yep.
That's
I love
And,
that guy.
what was
He's
the
so
other guy's name?
fucking
Norm
funny.
McDonald?
Norm Macdonald
Norm
was Stewart.
Macdonald.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he wasn't Stewart.
Hey, was
Was he? Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald.
No, Norm Macdonald was
not Norm McDonald.
No,
Oh, okay.
How-
Who was?
it
who
was
Stewart?
something Macdonald though.
Michael McDonald?
No,
I'm not sure. I can't remember everyone.
Who's Norm McDonald again?
Norm Macdonald is that guy with. He was the colonel for a while a few years ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, not that guy then.
So you like chicken because you like Mario 64.
anyway, what?
Where did that come from? What the fuck?
Brandon's
Because I was
number
just-
2.
I was just because you were like talking about the Colonel. I'm like, all right,
Oh.
chicken, Mario 64. Let's bring this back to what we're supposed to be talking.
I get
about.
it.
Correct.
Number 2,
Number 2.
Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, the best racing game ever made. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Nothing more to say. Gasgano is awesome.
Oh.
Deadbolt, awesome. They're all awesome. Everybody. I love Star Wars a
Except
lot.
what's one of them? There's like one racer in that
yeah, his
game
name's
who's
Anakin
just
fucking Skywalker. He's a
no,
little child.
not even
Stupid.
him.
I know
There's
he's
one
actually
racer
good.
that's objectively just like worse than everybody. I can't remember his
I
name
mean,
though. He's like the small little fat dude
well, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I was gonna
who
say
like in the movie he just like blows up
Yeah, he's the one who
instantly.
blows up.
no,
on-
no. Quadranero is nuts in that game because it's
I
so
don't,
good.
Maybe it's not him, but there's somebody in the game.
He's so hard
like
to
small
get.
and he's just like really bad.
I mean, there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of fucking
There
characters.
is.
But my favorite was, I don't know why he was my favorite, but aesthetically, he is different than all the rest because his pod is attached to the engines in the front. So his pod is in the front and his engines are attached to his pod with no
Oh, yeah.
cables. Like that guy is, I can't remember. It wasn't Rats Terrell, but fuck, I feel like an idiot if Star Wars tattooed on all over my body. Love Star Wars. I can't remember this guy's goddamn name. Anyway, he was super fast, super hard on the levels later on in the game.
Was it ever
but-
super hard on?
I have a super hard on because I'm talking about Star Wars
Right.
every time, every day. But yeah, Episode 1 Racer, like we talked about a little bit, customizing your pod. It's like I can't beat this race. Okay, I'm just gonna add my max speed. Like holy fuck, this game is dope. Going 600 miles an hour. What game can it go 600 miles an hour in?
F-Zero.
No, I can't. No, I can't. F-Zero is not as good as Star Wars Episode 1 Racer because
One
it's
of
not
those.
Star Wars.
You didn't ask if it was as good. You asked if you could go 600 miles an hour.
I don't give a shit. It's not
Right.
Star Wars.
I agree though. Episode 1 Racer, one of the 2 great things to come from Episode 1. Actually 3 great things.
We won't get
I'm gonna
into
go
the
ahead and
movies.
count Darth Maul.
We'll go into the movies.
All right.
We won't get
Duel
into
of
the movies.
Fates,
Duel
Connor,
of Fates is wonderful.
And Pod Racer.
what's your number 2?
Star Wars Episode 1 Battle Jedi Power Battles.
This Conker's
know.
Bad Fur Day.
That's a good
Hey.
one.
Please play the Pooh song.
That's a good one. No.
mighty Pooh.
Yes, please.
And I will shit on you.
And I just want you to play it, and we're all gonna shut up. For a
We
minute.
we will hear for a second. I want to point out, it came in with Clockwork Orange intro on Conker's Bad Fur Day. I thought that was so cool. Like I didn't know it as a kid, but then growing up, I was like, hey, that's where this is from. And yeah, it's. I think just the fact that Conker's Bad Fur Day had so many movie references that you like, aside from The Matrix, I didn't know like almost any of them as a kid. And then as I grew older, I was like, hey, these were all in Conker. Holy shit.
You didn't know Alien?
Huh?
You didn't know Alien?
I do. Okay,
As
I
a
knew Alien.
kid?
Yeah.
I
No, I
mean,
did know Alien. I
that's
actually
kinda
loved
hard
the
to
Alien
know as a
trilogy.
Kids,
Nah.
it's nightmare fuel.
Maybe
Were-
that's why I'm
were
not
you
afraid
once-
of scary movies, because
were
I've
you once
watched
a
Alien
little
when I was
bitch?
like 3.
No, I love Alien. Like I have one little alien on my dashboard. That's the
No, I
only
said,
thing
were
I'm
you
looking
once a little bit?
at. Of course I was. At night terrors. Everything carried to the shit.
Oh.
That's doo-doo, baby.
Oh, that makes me so uncomfortable.
Me. I am the great mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my shit at you. A huge supply of tish comes from my chocolate starfish. How about some scat, you little twat? Do you really?
I
You know,
love that.
you have like the perfect voice for that, by the way.
I can sing that song, yeah.
Like I know you don't do theater actively, but I really want to take you to an audition and find an
sing
instrumental for that. And you're just like, I'm going to sing the Mighty Pooh or the Great Mighty Pooh from the show Conker's Bad Fur Day, and no one, 99% chance they won't know what you're talking about. And
Alright.
you hear this instrumental like dun 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 dun, and they're gonna be like, oh, he's gonna sing this like epic song.
Yeah.
Am.
I'll do it.
Please,
I will do it. That'll be fantastic. What if I get the part? Get the lead role
just for me,
for singing Great Mighty Pooh.
for me, please.
Dude, the game was so fun. The only part that made me feel awkward was the flower with the titties, because I was like worried my mom would walk in when you're bouncing on the titties.
I do remember that in Conker's Bad Fur Day.
You know,
I like that part.
yeah, okay. I can see why. The only time like I ever remember like having it like feeling awkward when people walked in was like
Mass
in
Effect
Kingdom
2?
Hearts 2
Oh.
when you're playing the Little Mermaid level and you're like da 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 da, and you're just walking and you see Sora like a little boy half
Shirtless.
shirtless and he's just dancing and singing, and me as like a 16-year-old just I don't know,
Happy.
just
Well,
felt awkward.
Part-
It's not,
part of
you
a-
know, Mass Effect where there's a sex scene going on and your family's in the room like, sorry
No,
guys.
okay, the most awkward
sorry,
moment I've
because
ever
sex.
had with my family was watching my father and his wife, my stepmother Lily, are like super religious, right? But they like comic book movies. So we're like, hey, let's watch Watchmen.
I love
Oh, yeah.
Watchmen. Oh my god.
And then there's like
The
that
Hallelujah.
5-minute
Yeah.
sex scene.
that same in the comic. They took it straight from the book.
It's not cool to watch with your parents, man.
Then don't watch fucking Watch. You should have known what you went into with Watchmen.
I was
There's-
12,
When Watchmen came out.
maybe, I don't know when that came out.
No.
I was in high school when that was out.
we
Yeah,
were- we
So I was
Dude.
14.
probably.
Okay, I was like 19, 18.
Yeah, that
19.
makes sense. You're older than me,
I
Brandon.
fucking love Watchmen.
How'd you feel about the blue dick just on screen all the
Oh,
time?
yeah, big
That
old
didn't
dick.
bother me as much.
Straight
fine.
up in the comic. Like,
The,
they did a
I'm
I'm
great
not saying
adaptation.
I never once said it wasn't true to the comic. I just
Yeah.
said it's awkward to watch with your parents.
Yeah.
If they knew it's coming, like I watched Game of Thrones with my
none
parents.
of us knew it was coming.
They didn't know.
I told them there was a bunch of nudity and sex in Game of Thrones. and
Watch,
that's what I watched with my
Watchmen
family.
isn't like Batman, where everyone just knows who he is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say
What are
on
you talking
Conquer,
about?
the thing about the flower sex scene thing though, because not only do you jumping on her titties, she has sex with that bee, and there's a lot of
Dope.
moaning
Oh, yeah.
Dope.
and sex noises. And as a little kid, I was like, "Oh God, mom's gonna walk in
Oh.
right now." and then Yeah, if we're talking about just awkward parent moments, though, every time Brenda and I watched Game of Thrones, my mom would literally walk in only on the sex scenes, usually the gay ones.
Nice.
There's only a few of those ones.
Yeah, but this was back when I was living with my parents, so it was during like season 2 and whatnot.
I see.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I feel you, man.
Yep.
All right, so I think we're at that time now.
BFD.
What time?
Number one.
Oh shit.
Oh Lord,
Adam, what's your number?
I
What is
love
your
my number
favorite
one. Oh my
N64 game, man?
I'm frightened.
You know this, right, Andrew?
Do I know this?
Yeah, you know this.
Andrew, say
'Cause
it.
it was,
Both of you say it on 3.
Oh Jesus, this is I don't know if I actually know this.
1, 2, 3.
Mystical
F-Zero
Star
X.
Perfect
Goemon?
Dark.
Oh fuck, I was way off.
Perfect Dark. Is that what I heard?
Perfect
I
Dark,
said-
yeah.
Perfect
That's a
Dark.
good one.
Do you even
Okay.
like the game I said, Adam?
Yeah, I love that game.
Okay, well at least you love that game.
Yeah, I love all the Goemon games. I have a cat named Goemon, but yeah, I thought you
Yeah.
knew because my second tattoo was of the P and the D from Perfect Dark,
Nice.
but it's also the N and the 6 and the 4 from the loading screen at the beginning.
Nice.
So I got the perfect, and I know that we talked about that, Niker. I know that we did.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
Like, "Yaw." He's like, "You got sweet N64 tattoo," and I'm like, "It's also Perfect Dark." He's like, "Sweet."
Yeah, man, it's just been a while, to be honest. Like when I think of your tattoos, the first thing I think of, and I'm gonna be actually really I'm just gonna be disappointed with myself. I'm just wrong. You have Portal tattoos on you, right?
Yeah, that
That's
was my
fucking cool.
very first tattoo was Portal on my wrist to celebrate
That's
beating Portal 2.
fucking cool.
Yeah, that's like when I think of your tattoo, I think of Portal first, and so that's what came to my head. And I remembered you had an animal that you named Goemon, so I'm like, oh, his number one's like I wasn't that far off. Even though that game wasn't on your list or your honorable mentions.
Do you have a lot of tattoos?
I only have three.
Oh, okay.
So far.
Don't talk about tattoos then.
No, I'm broke. So
It's all good. Some of us, like, I have a friend who's a tattoo artist, so I got
That's
lucky in that
sweet.
department.
I don't have any friends that live near me, pretty much. So
Fair enough. Happens.
Don't worry, I'm gonna come see you next year. Me and Connor are gonna go see you next year, Adam.
okay, that sounds good.
Sweet.
You buying me a ticket?
Sure.
Hell.
You, I, and Cassie will go. All right, sounds
All
good.
right.
You should come for a convention. We have a lot of good conventions over here.
Yeah, man, sounds good. And then we can just bed at your place.
Bed.
Sure, you have to share it with like 7 cats.
Sweet. I wanna
Maybe
go.
not. Cass,
Okay, I wanna go
Connor
now.
can stay there. Cass is super allergic to cats.
Brandon
I
needs
love
to go
cats.
now. I like cats. A
Cats
lot.
are
Alright.
amazing.
All right, so my number one,
What's your number one?
Oh shit!
man, it's a game that people have been like talking about all night.
It's just been hitting every
Yeah,
time.
like everyone has mentioned it in the chat. Mario Party 2
Is a good one.
is
Yeah.
my number one.
It's a
good
good
one.
game.
Yeah.
It's the best Mario Party.
Yes.
And just like it was, man. What I said about Pokemon Stadium multiplied.
Yeah, huge. It's
Guys,
so
do you want to play Mario Party?
which one?
Yeah.
No, it's like which one? I mean, because
The
like,
only good one.
and they're like, you're like 2. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, like I remember my
want the
last semester
cowboy
at
hat.
college, my last month when I was supposed to be doing work, I would just hang out at the lounge, bring controllers and my laptop, and be like, "Who wants to play Mario Party?" And Antonio and like 2 randoms would just come and play,
Nice.
like almost every day.
super
That's funny.
efficient.
I love that game, man.
That's super good.
I have a lot of memories playing it as a child. On the weekends, I used to get up around 6 or 7 in the morning, and that's when all the other kids got up, my cousins. I would get up at 5 in the morning just to get an hour of
just unended gameplay.
Yeah,
uninterrupted.
of
Yeah.
Mario Party 2. Or when I was, I would be up late at night. We were supposed to be in bed by like 10.
Mhm.
I would wait. I would sit there waiting for an hour and a half, and I'd wait for the adults to go to sleep. And I would get up out of bed. I would turn the TV down to like 2, and I'd turn it on. I'd play Mario Party before.
Because you just want to hear get item.
Yeah, exactly. And I would just play like a quick 10-turn game. Like
That was me with Monster Hunter.
yeah, it's
throughout
like
most of my childhood.
that game is. I've spent so much time, like just trying to cheat my way into playing it more, even
Yeah.
to this day, where I'm like, I could be doing my college work right now, but
But
Mario Party 2.
Gonna
yeah.
bring in one.
and it
of your,
worked out because now a really kick-ass job.
There you go.
True.
All right, Miguel, what's your number one?
My number one is Kirby and the Crystal Shards.
Nice. It's a good
I
one.
fucking love Kirby
It's a
so
good
much, dude.
I love
I
Kirby.
like
Great game.
of all the Nintendo properties. If I had to pick one to like
Metroid.
be the only one to exist,
Metroid.
like if all the others had to die, I'm keeping Kirby.
Fuck off.
I love Kirby.
But
How
Kirby
stoked are
could
you
be
for Kirby coming
Samus.
up?
Yeah, after he eats her.
I keep telling you that that's the only game on Switch I care about right now.
Yeah.
Coming up is fucking Kirby Star Allies.
Is it going to
Oh.
be better than Epic Yarn?
A million times. It's Crystal Shards again. There's combo
Oh,
power, there's fusion
good.
powers,
Okay.
and
Okay.
oh my
We've
god,
had this conversation. Epic Yarn is not a bad game. It
Just
just has
easy.
0 difficulty.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, that
it's
makes
easy. That in a
usually
way makes it kind of not enjoyable though for me because
yeah.
you're not engaged.
It's not. I mean,
enjoyable. What did Reggie say? If the game is not fun, then why play it?
I mean, it is
Not
fun.
fun.
It's not. It's like one of those game. Like, there's a difference. Like, if you want to play a platformer where you're trying to like do things, play Shovel Knight or play
That's
Super
a
Meat
good
Boy.
one. That's a tough
Both
one.
great games, right? But sometimes you want to play that kind of style of game, and you don't really want to like engage that much. And Kirby's Epic Yarn is
I've been
fantastic for that.
schmammered and still play Mario Brothers.
I don't know. It's just personal opinion, but Crystal Shard's great,
Fair.
dude. Like, legitimate. It's
It's fantastic.
Yeah, Kirby's excellent. He
I-
already appeared on my NES and Game Boy and SNES lists.
I like I never enjoy games where you can just like do something like be overpowered as fuck and just wipe out all the fucking enemies.
That's
like
why I don't like God
and
of War,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Like fucking hammer the square. What was it? Square?
I don't
What was the
even
attack
know.
Button? I don't remember.
But there's
fucking,
Ratchet and
Hammer
Clank,
this
which
button
actually loses.
and everything dies. Bullshit. Fuck it. But in Kirby, when you got the laser sword and you could just like wipe the whole screen, it was kind of empowering.
because it wasn't the whole time.
That's true.
That's the
That's
biggest
true.
thing
What
is
if you're
that
the
it's
UFO
a
though?
limited thing.
The UFO. I mean,
And you're just flying.
it's still really fun.
fucking no, I'm talking about just the easeability. Like once you have a UFO, you're like, I'm gonna fucking kill
I
everything.
know it's still really fun.
It
I love
is,
it.
yeah.
Maybe it has to do with the Kirby aesthetic.
one of my favorite parts about that game when I was growing up was like finding out the combinations, like sucking up 2 different powers
Yeah.
and
It's so
creating a new
fun.
power.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah,
like
just
there were
figuring it
there were
out.
only like 32 or something.
It felt
Yeah.
like there were so
But-
many.
right?
And this was back before like guides were common things. Like
Yeah.
unless you bought the guide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
oh, man.
one of the things I remember most about Kirby is just like the way it like you went into the world, like it was actually a 3D world, but still side scrolling. It just looked really cool. I just remember like especially I can't remember if it's the second to last or the last level where the whole thing is like going back and forth, but like on a barrel shaped world.
Yeah.
It's really
You
cool.
know that style is very much like Klonoa.
Is that far into the
Um,
game?
yeah, it's like
Oh,
it,
shit.
You ever play Klonoa?
No, I never heard of it.
Klonoa is a PlayStation 1 exclusive.
Oh shit!
So it's like a 2.5D platformer in the same vein as
It's
Kirby.
the purple chick, right?
Klonoa is a little beastie dude with a hat. There's
Oh,
only
my
been
bad.
two. There's only been 2 Klonoa games. One of them on PS1, the other one on with the Nintendo Wii.
Wow, weird.
There is a
Weird.
GBA game.
Weird.
One more time, man.
Very.
There is a Klonoa GBA game.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Oh.
See, this is
It's really good.
GBA has everything.
yeah. I mean, if anyone should talk about Kirby, I mean, it should be you, Adam. You have a pet currently named Kirby, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's my corgi named Kirby.
Nice. Kudos for not naming your corgi Ein
Like
like everybody
corgis.
else.
Oh,
What'd you name him?
Yeah, amen to that.
I said kudos for not naming him Ein like everybody
Ein?
else. Yeah,
Why
from
would
Cowboy
you-
Bebop.
Fine.
Oh, I get
Yeah.
it. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's not.
I
but-
know. 'cause
And
I love,
Everybody
I love
does.
Cowboy Bebop.
Thousands of vines.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's
Oh,
that's
that's
original.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He's got fucking Pac-Man on his hat.
Oh
That's
man,
crazy.
Oh no,
Never
that's
heard of
spawn.
it.
That's spawn
Looks like a
furries.
Pokemon.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what game it was, but I remember back on the Overshield, Adam was reviewing a shmup, and one of the
Shmup?
enemy
Shoot 'em up.
It was like a bullet hell, and one of
hate
the
that word,
enemies
too.
you fight were corgis and spaceships, and instantly I
Yeah.
remember you said it got a better rating because you were fighting
Yeah.
corgis and spaceships.
Well, yeah.
It's
I
just
think it was called like Atrium or something. I can't.
Atrium.
I don't remember. I actually remember after doing that review, they came on to the Pixels and Bits podcast and bullshitted for like
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
Yeah, they said they were gonna put my sprite in the game, and I don't think they ever did.
I mean,
But-
I remember seeing the game. They re-released it on Steam. Did you ever check?
Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
And I bought Steam and Metal again, and like all those ones that you gave me review copies of, I rebought because I'm just a sucker for shmups for sure.
yeah, man.
Can I bounce back to Mario 2 real quick?
Of course.
Mario Party
Of
2?
course.
Mario Party 2, yeah. Did
Yeah,
you
go
see
ahead.
that they just released Mario Party Top 100
Yeah.
on 3DS?
Oh, what?
Yeah, there's a top 100 on 3DS.
What did that mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's 100 of the best mini games featured in the Mario Party series, and there's a lot from
Oh.
2. Obviously, if
Okay.
not all of them are from 2, then they messed up. But
Yeah, right.
but
I think
it's pretty cool. Yeah, it came out today.
Oh, that's
My,
pretty cool.
my favorite Mario Party 2 minigame was the one where you're in the little cars with big heads. It's like a go-kart type deal.
That one's
Yeah.
fun.
I like that one.
The game was called Aeternum. Aeternum.
Turnham.
I was pretty darn close.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given that was
cool.
what, like 5 years ago,
That review came out 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I was looking at these. I'm on the Overshield YouTube channel right now, and I put in Adam Agro, and one of the videos that popped up was Adam Agro reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my God!
Is there-
As Meatwad?
Connor, please pull that up.
All right.
Oh, boy.
I don't remember a ton of it. I just remember he was reading it, and Adam Agro put on his best Batman voice at
Well,
some
it's like
point.
what, 3 minutes long? You read the whole book in 3 minutes?
No, it was just snippets.
I read my favorite passage.
You're under the
Ah,
age
I
of
see.
18. Adam Agro's voice will violate your ears. You have been warned.
Tommy.
Oh,
Your
God.
turn, Ad.
All right, Adam, your turn.
Okay, I am so, like, my chest is so fluttered. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the guy. I'm gonna do the narrative in my normal voice. I'm gonna do the guy as Batman, and I'm gonna try to do the girl as Meatwad.
Okay, go for it.
When did you start your period, Anastasia? He asked out of the blue, gazing down at me. Oh, shit, I can't put my headphones in. Fuck. Yesterday? I mumbled, my highly aroused state. Good. He released me and turns me around. Hold on to the sink, he orders and pulls my hips back against him, like he did in the playroom, so I'm bending down. He reaches between my legs and pulls on the blue string. What? And gently pulls my tampon out and tosses it in a nearby toilet. Holy fuck.
What?
This is a real thing? What? Oh, jeez. And then he's inside me. Skin against skin again. Moving slowly at first.
Is this the real
easily
book?
teasing me,
Yes.
pushing
Real book.
me.
Fuck that.
Oh my. Oh my. I grip on the sink, panting, forcing myself back onto him,
People love this
feeling
song for
him
making
inside
movie
me. Oh, the sweet agony. His hands clasp my hips. He sets a pushing rhythm in, out, and reaches around and finds my clitoris. Good job, dude.
What the?
Stop it.
I like that little. Good job, dude.
That very same bit, our buddy Cody read that as Hank Hill.
I can't.
It's the best theme because I don't think that lady has ever had sex right after pulling a tampon out before, because that's like a
No.
dry eye socket. Like, it doesn't work.
I wonder if the
You-
person who wrote that book ever had sex.
You know that book was originally a Twilight
Because it
fan fiction.
seemed-
Yeah, I remember.
It's
I don't think the person who wrote that book ever wrote a book.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
They're
now-
just a
even
virgin
now.
that has never done anything with their life. Just woke up and said, "Oh, this would be funny."
Yeah.
Anyway, I still have
God.
my number one.
Yeah, we still have two number ones to get to.
My number one.
I think I already know. Oh wait, no, you already said what your number. Never mind. What's your number?
You know
one,
what my
man?
number one is? Okay, if number two was Star
Oh.
Wars Jedi.
The other
Starfighter,
Star Wars game?
There is one exclusive game that is a Star Wars game exclusive to the Nintendo 64, and it sucks that it's exclusive to the Nintendo 64 because I love that game. Called Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, and every ROM
Dope.
port fails. It doesn't load the character sprite, so it sucks. So you can't play unless you have a Nintendo 64 and the real cartridge because I fucking love that game. And it's funny the
Jesus. Sorry.
Exactly, thank
It was
you.
still on the. It was still on the clitoris
Oh, I
volume.
needed that. But I actually found out about this game because of action figures, which was the best part of it. Was that
Nice.
I got micro machines because I had a whole giant collection of micro machines. Everything was all organized in little boxes of everything Star Wars. And I got these ones. I was like, what's this red swoop bike? That's really cool. This red speeder bike was in the movies. What's fucking awesome. Found out it was from a video game, so I got the video game.
Nice.
And I love the fuck out of it because you get to fight Boba Fett, and I felt really bad about that fight. I feel really bad fighting that. I hate it. And IG-88, like I have to fight IG-88. That sucks. That sucks. Not saying the combat sucks or that the game sucks, because it's not. It doesn't hold up very well. But fighting my favorite characters is a nightmare. Anyway, I like Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. It's really good. It's a good game.
I think I already know what Connor's number 1 is.
Oh yeah, you probably do.
And it's been on all of our lists except mine. And Brandon doesn't like this game.
Yeah.
What is it?
Mario 64.
Oh yeah, I don't like this game.
This is my favorite song from Mario 64. It's Dire Dire Docks. Seriously, like when Brandon's like, "Oh, he doesn't control well," dude. Mario like controls fucking perfectly,
Does not.
and like even if you're a noob, you could still walk around completely fine. He does what you're doing, and if you're get good, he is absolute precision control. Like there's many videos, and myself can prove the actual goodness of his control.
Bump into a wall, bounce backwards, land on your butt, shake your head, look around, animation to get back up. Now I can move again.
Why did you bump
Finally,
into a
holy
wall?
shit.
Yeah, get good. Don't run into a wall. Jump
I'm
off
just
that shit
saying,
and
like
do a
the fact that
backflip.
that can happen, the game developer should have thought about,
Well,
oh, that
yeah,
might be
that
kind of
hap-
bullshit.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
did
hold
think
on, hold
about
on.
it. They made
Hold on.
that the reaction.
Yeah, I was going to say, as someone who likes, like, when you're playing games to be punished for not doing something
Yeah.
right.
No, that's not what I ever said. Why did I ever say that? I don't like being punished for shit.
For not doing something correctly?
Yeah,
That's
they're-
like, isn't that like
No.
how isn't
They
that
thought of it.
I like
and their
games that
reaction
don't have tutorials, so I get to play how I want to play.
doesn't have a tutorial.
That doesn't exactly. I'm just saying. I've never said I like to be punished because I like Dark Souls. Is that what it is?
Yeah, because that's exactly what that game
Dark
is.
Souls is not a very
You-
hard game, as long as you just pay attention.
Okay,
you
same
dodge
could be
when
said
something
for,
attacks.
Same thing could be said for Mario, but
I don't know. I
Man.
don't like it.
120 stars, and if you want, I mean, there's an asterisk next to that because you could totally glitch your way through it in a really
Yep.
cool way.
when you're fucking bouncing up the stairs really fast.
Bouncing up the stairs, going through walls, all that stuff, tearing through. It's a lot of pixel perfect stuff, but it's really cool.
I think it was difficult for me because Crash Bandicoot was already a thing.
Crash Bandicoot controls much worse.
Not
Yeah, I
doesn't.
agree.
I still have my
Crash is
PS1 copies.
really hard. Like
I do too. I've played.
Maybe
Actually, I
that's
beat
what I consider good because that was one of the first. That was the first 3D platform I ever
because
played.
I actually played through Crash Bandicoot 1 on an original PlayStation
Me too.
last December,
Nice,
and yeah,
Congratulations.
the controls are
awesome.
pretty
I
garbage.
think
I
no,
like
the
it.
controls are fine in
It
that
works,
game.
but
It's for me. It's
he's
more
he's
like
very
it's
the platforming is super
Yeah.
precise, but he's not precise enough for it.
That's
Yeah.
I
okay.
always
Like
found.
the only game I could probably ever speedrun is probably Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back.
they fixed
But-
it up into quite a bit. Although the remake messed it up.
Yeah, the Insane Trilogy
yeah.
is hard as
I
fuck.
I have the Insane Trilogy.
Yep.
It's nice to see everything pretty, but
Yeah.
it doesn't play the same
It's-
at all.
It's
right?
like the thing about the Insane Trilogy is like they made the models bigger, but they didn't actually make the hitboxes
Right.
bigger.
I noticed that.
And then they zoomed the camera in a bit.
on some things, yeah.
Yeah, like like just the level in general because they like made it widescreen. It was like instead of like stretching
that's
it,
right, yeah,
it's
you're
like
right.
they just kind of zoomed the screen in to cut off the top so that it fits in the aspect ratio. It's really
makes
like
sense.
I remember booting out. I was like, why am I so close to Crash right now?
But I think that's why I have a hard time with things on the 64, like 3D platformers on that, because I played all the 3D platformers on PS1, like Spyro and Croc and Crash, and I was like, wow, this is wonderful. And then going to the 64, I was like, why does this feel
Maybe your thumbstick
so
was
horrible?
fucked up.
Every thumbstick is fucked up on the fucking Nintendo 64. You play with that thing, you can hold it and shake it, and it's like.
Yeah, they made. There's actually if you want if you want to play N64 games, but you want to deal with that thumbstick, they actually have some of them are actually first-party Nintendo controllers that have the GameCube analog stick on it.
I kind of like that analog
Yeah.
stick.
Because it was at that generation gap right there at the end. They came out with some GameCube analog.
Speaking
N64
of Star
controllers.
Wars exclusives, GameCube had a really good one.
But yeah, Mario 64. It's not just one of my favorite N64 games. It's legitimately just one of my favorite games of all time. So
that'll be on your list when we get to the very end of
When we-
all of this shit. When
when we-
we're just like top 10 games of all time.
I have that one already done. I've had it done for a long time.
Well, I'm probably gonna throw a wrench in that because we've kind of had this unspoken rule. It's only one game per franchise.
It's fine. Still, it's been done for years. I
Okay.
keep that rule to myself too, because otherwise it wouldn't be fair to be like Demon Souls, Dark Souls,
Animal
Dark Souls
Crossing,
3,
Animal
Bloodborne.
3 and Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Oh
Animal
yeah,
Crossing
you skipped
Wild,
you skipped
Animal
2. That's
Crossing
right.
City. Just
All right, so that's our top 5 N64 games. We still have some time left.
got like
over.
16 minutes to fuck
Some
around and do whatever
16
we want.
Yeah, exactly. Or some fuck dickery. So
Funk dickery.
yeah. So Adam, what have you been playing lately, man?
Killing Floor 2 mostly.
Oh fuck yeah.
Cool.
No,
That's
no,
it. You kill people on floors. You kill floors 2 times.
You kill floors. Yeah. Go,
Yeah,
go,
you,
go
kill,
and
you kill the floor twice and then you win.
Yeah.
It's the easiest game to play.
give a
Killing
rundown
floors.
of Killing Floor 2, because for people who haven't heard it or played it.
Kill people. I'm not-
Google it. I'm not freaking Google. Just
It's-
Google it.
That's simple.
Like you
just
should
kill
should
things.
already know what it is.
This is your
Killing
moment
Floor
to,
2.
to just talk about a game you like.
There's arenas. You kill a lot of things. You move on to the next one.
Yeah,
Kill a
it's,
fuck
it's,
ton of
it's
things.
mostly co-op. There's guns. There's zombies. There's some even bigger zombies.
There's some bullet
You,
time.
you piss your pants a little bit. You cry a lot. You get kicked off of servers. You realize that the Russians are the best gamers in the entire world, and then you go to bed.
Oh.
And then you do the same thing tomorrow.
Oh.
All right. Well, I will say this. So, before I guess I can make the announcement of who's going to be coming on next week. From 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., the owners of Exodus Escape Room will be in studio to talk about their escape rooms, and they will be, after that interview is done, probably hang out and talk about Blizzard because they're huge.
Dope.
Speaking of Blizzard,
Overwatch.
Yeah, so
fucking
South Korea
a,
won.
a pro
Spoiler
player, Dennis Hawelka. I had to look up his name. Internet Hulk from NVS. Like he was like the founder of the team. They were like the top dogs in the like first year of Overwatch. Died suddenly yesterday.
So sad.
Yeah, he had tonsillitis, and I guess his last tweets are about like being like put under.
Oh damn.
Jesus.
And then he fucking died.
That's insane.
Wow. From tonsillitis. Whoa.
Yeah, it probably caused complications. I haven't looked too much into it, but
That's so sad.
Yeah.
You got to get those removed.
Yeah, you got to get those
Yeah.
out of your, get,
Yeah, right.
out of your body. They'll
It's-
kill you.
Man, it's been like, I know this is like not in the gaming realm,
There's
but
the Overwatch song.
it's been a week for baseball. Like one of the someone who's going to be going into the Hall of Fame.
This
His
isn't
name was
video games.
like, well, it's called the Kinda
Kinda
Gaming
Gaming
Show.
Show.
I
Brandon.
know it's a joke. It's a
Base-
joke.
Baseball's a game.
Make it a joke.
It is a game.
I know it's a video
Roy
game, MLB The
Halladay
Show.
passed away this week. He was only
Yeah.
40. He got into a plane crash.
Yeah.
Which that sucks. But he lived
That
at
sucks,
least a
but
good
you
life.
probably left with
right?
a lot of other people.
No,
it
it
was-
was only
it
it was
was-
a personal plane.
he was flying a stunt plane.
I see.
He was
So-
he was showboating.
The
I
other
see.
the other person who died this week was a 17-year-old Red Sox prospect.
Are we just gonna talk
damn.
about all
he
these
passed
athletes
away
dying?
of cancer.
That's so sad. But
17.
I mean,
Anyway, I don't know why that brought me up, but before we do that, also
South
calling
Korea
in next
still
week for an interview will be Reggie Fils-Aimé. I'm just playing.
yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Things just changed.
No,
the game is not fun.
All right, so I'm going to give a shout out to some of the developers who are going to be sending us games. We'll be talking about them at some point. We want to say thank you to the developers behind MXGP3, the official motocross
Wow.
video game.
Hell yeah.
We will also at some point be talking about Yono and the Celestial Elephants for the Nintendo Switch.
That sounds like fun.
I played it.
We will be talking about Cat Quest on
sounds like fun.
PS4.
Sounds super fun.
Moon Hunters.
I want to hunt the moon.
And Stick It to the Man,
Yeah.
the Switch edition. Rive, the Ultimate edition for Switch.
Wow, sounds a lot like Rhyme.
Yep.
That's annoying.
So that's that. We just want to say thank you to the developers who have been sending in games, and yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah, I really
keeping us in your
appreciate that.
thoughts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate your hard work because I understand what you guys go through on
Yeah.
a daily basis.
You know, I will say, Brandon, I'm trying to work on an interview specifically for you
Oh,
to do. I've been hunting down developers and artists who worked on Bloodborne,
oh fuck.
and at some point,
Are there any that
Japanese.
speak
In-
English? Yeah.
at some point, I'm going to get somebody from either that game or someone who worked on the Souls games.
Okay. Either that or somebody from that game company who worked on Journey. I'd be happy to talk to either.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
we're gonna try to get one of those folks in.
be
Until
a lot
then,
easier.
you're gonna have to settle for Adam Agro.
That's fine. Hello, Adam.
I mean, Adam's been cool.
Yeah, Adam's cool.
No, Adam's
Dig him.
a cool motherfucker.
Takes all the aggro. I
Quite
like
the
it. I need a
find,
tank
though.
for my DPS. Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
God damn it, Brandon.
Are you? Did you get Bleed 2? Didn't that come out somewhat recently? I know you were a huge fan of the first one, Adam.
No, I haven't been able to afford it quite yet.
Man, I'll give that to you.
Oh, look at that.
I do have a birthday coming up, so maybe
Are
maybe
Are
I'll
you
get
giving
these things
giving him
knocked
the
off my list.
code right now?
What's bleed? Oh, side scroller? What is
Yeah,
this?
he's looking it up on Steam right
Bleed is a
What was
run and gun action game.
Oh, that looks nuts.
That
Yeah.
Adam, I believe you can speed run the first one, correct?
Yeah, but nowhere near like what the actual speedrunners can do because I still use the slow down time mechanic to land a lot of hits, but the actual speedrunner never slows down time. They do it all in real time, and it's the sickest speedrun ever, especially if you're familiar with the game.
I love the aesthetic. Like 80s neon is my shit. Like I love that neon.
Yeah, the guns are cool. It's super rewarding game. It's fun. The music is great. I love Boot Disc Revolution. They're an awesome company.
I will. Oh God, what was it? Tiny Toon Adventures? Is
Yeah.
that the game you
Oh, yeah.
actually have the world
like
record
that
for,
game.
or you have the world record time recorded?
Yeah, for Bab's Big Break on the Game Boy. Yeah, I got the
Nice.
record for that.
That's funny.
That was big
I
break.
love that game.
That was a good show.
Yeah, man, you're literally talking to the best player of that game in the entire world.
That's
Miguel.
pretty crazy. If I put that ever in my console, I'm gonna be like, holy shit! I talked to the man.
The
Who's
man.
Yeah.
How many people have attempted the record?
Who cares? He's a
Um,
master. He's done. No one's gonna challenge him. Kick him off his throne.
He's like me.
You can. I think there's like a dozen people on Speed Demos Archive who are in there, but there's one boss in particular, the giant white Doberman, who it's almost impossible not to get a hit on it. So that's the reason why they didn't accept mine, but nobody else has done better with taking a hit. So I'm like, listen, it's practically unavoidable. You just need to accept it at this point, because we've been trying to do it since about 2008 now, and they're just like, no, we're not going to put it it on the list, upload it to the site, not until it's like a flawless run. And I'm like, listen,
That
a record
sucks.
is a record. Let me set the freaking bar, you know,
Definitely.
because these people want it. So like, I submitted it, I had it on DVD. They accepted it, but they didn't like post it on there. So
Jack.
my actual run is not, but it is on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube if you want. And then I have it on there with commentary as well. So
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Where can people find you nowadays if someone wants to watch your content?
my house. Well, right now I'm working on the animated series with AstroCats LLC with a good group of animators and voice actors, and we got a couple of former Nickelodeon staff members who are working with us to bring back film and entertainment to North Carolina because they got rid of our bill during the last mayor got rid of it together, and we lost CW's The Arrow and tons of movies that were going to be shot here. And we lost millions and millions of dollars because that bill went out. So we've been partnered up with various government officials and grants in order to make an animated TV series. So that's what I've been working on. You can check that out at CaptainHobbs.com or just search AstroCats LLC.
You know, you've been jizzing all over Connor's voice this entire evening. You should have him in your animation.
I already talked to him about it during the 5-minute break.
Yep.
Of course you did.
Tell him contact you, and then you give it to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm his
I'll have
agent.
your people call my people, and
Oh, so
yeah,
in other
we'll work-
words, me and you were going to be fumble dicking later on about this, Adam.
Talk to my people, and we'll have people do things with people.
Yeah, no, I fucking hate it because I've tried doing voice acting. Like, my voice is good for reviews and radio like this. But, like, voice acting, I just can't emote the same way Connor can. So me and you have, like, sent auditions for things, and I don't hear anything back. And Connor's like, he comes, he talks to me the next day. Oh, yeah, they got back to me. And I just look at him like, you motherfucker.
it's hard. It is really, really hard to do voice acting. So,
I
yeah.
always thought about that. I watch a lot of cartoons, and I'm like, man, I can't imagine sitting in front of a camera, or even for a video game. Like, must be tough.
Yeah, the last thing I was cast in, which I never heard I guess the project is dead. I was cast as a male in the male in a dating sim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Hakanori, like something.
Yeah, I was cast as the male because you could either play as a male or female as the main character. Either one doesn't matter. And I was cast as the male. And last time
impressive.
I talked to them, that they said they were writing, finishing everything up, and they never got back to me. So
I
I guess the
see.
project is dead.
Bum, bum, bum,
But I'm
bum,
like,
bum.
wow, this could be my big hit. Like when
This will be the break.
this will be the break, man. It just be so like that seems so weird. Like voice acting in general, like you think you're gonna be like this badass or like the main hero, and then in reality you're playing. I'm the fucking male in a dating sim. And be like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, no, like even I think what really grabbed my attention was in BioShock Infinite. Like during the credits, it like shows the behind the scenes of Elizabeth, like the girl who did the voice, and like the whole singing and everything, and just like watching her act and stuff behind a camera. I'm like, wow, this looks like a cartoon or a movie. It's not something you think about in a video game. So it like really made me look at things a little bit differently when I play games from now on, or from Infinite. I guess was like, wow. This is a true form like of art, just like books or movies or TV shows. Like it's really, really cool. Like it takes a lot of work, and I could never do that. So I have utmost respect.
A lot of people.
Yeah, it's
felt
really
that way
cool
playing
seeing the
Last
other
of
side
Us.
of the curtain.
What was that, man?
I said it's really cool seeing the other side of the curtain as far as
Absolutely.
like animations and stuff go.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Nowadays, it's just straight up mocapped with the like voice actors and like the actor is the voice actor. It's intense. Like watching something like even going back to Beyond Two Souls, where it's like literally
Or The
William
Last of Us.
Dafoe starring in shut up. William Dafoe and Ellen Page starring in Beyond Two Souls. Like that's pretty weird to see big movie actors starring in a video game. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, what's his name in the new Call of Duty World War II?
Oh yeah.
God, David Tennant is in it.
Oh, David Tennant's in it?
Yeah, he's in the zombies. He's one of the people. Which I just got done watching Jessica Jones. Like I got sick.
Oh yeah, he's in
this
there.
last week because of Miguel.
Yeah.
And I just watched all of Luke Cage and finished Jessica Jones. And David Tennant's character in Jessica Jones is fucking fantastic.
Who does he play?
The main bad guy.
Oh really? He doesn't play time.
He's playing his name is God, and they even comment how like silly it is. His name is Kilgrave.
Wow. I
Like-
like that name. I like
And
that
they're,
a lot.
and they're just like
Kilgrave.
dead body wasn't available.
No, Kilgrave. That's a really good name. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Like
I'm gonna
has
start using that.
anyone else here? I
Kilgrave.
assume you two haven't, just because the way you've reacted. But have any of you
Ah.
seen Jessica Jones?
No.
No.
What's her super?
I have. I'm a big fan of Jessica Jones.
Does she do anything?
Does she even have a power? I thought she was just.
She has super strength.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
She
how
has,
original.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's not her character. Like that entire story is not a happy one. Like it's not
Yeah.
one that you
Good.
expect from
Oh.
Marvel.
I don't like happy stories.
Kilgrave and that entire like it literally you
Just watch it. Just watch it.
yeah.
Well, I
that's
probably
fine.
won't.
It's
Well,
so
personally, I
worth to
won't.
watch.
You'd probably honestly you would like
Okay,
it.
well, that's the thing. Daredevil's my favorite Marvel superhero by far, and I fucking hate Netflix's rendition of Daredevil.
But
Yeah.
it's so
I am
good.
so
I
goddamn
wouldn't say
bored
I
with
wouldn't
it.
say it's crazy good.
It's
or anything,
boring.
but it's not bad.
It's boring. If it's
It
called
has
Daredevil,
literally it has the best fight scenes in a TV show.
and
like
how
it
long
reminds
does it take to get to a good fight scene.
Because it's a character.
Exactly.
That's what's good
I'm
about
not
the
watching
Netflix shows
Matthew
is that they're
Murdock. I'm watching Daredevil. I want to see some Daredevil.
yeah, but why do you care about Daredevil if you don't
Because
care
I
about
read
Matthew
the comics
Murdock?
as a kid.
Yeah, not everyone's you.
I know. I was bored with the TV show. I was like, this is.
It's like the same reason why people like The Walking Dead so much when it first came
can't
out.
figure that out either.
Is because people like the characters in the environment, not
Maybe that's
it's not
why I
the
don't like it.
zombies.
I
It's
don't
not
like
the
the
zombies.
characters.
It's that people people
Like the
care for
narrative.
Jessica Jones.
Fair.
People
That's
care
fair.
for Matthew Murdock, and that's why when they're going into these super fights, they have more of an emotional attachment to them because they're like, oh no, Matthew's gonna get hurt, not
But
Daredevil.
You also think like common sense kicks in, and you go, "Oh, they're not gonna fucking die in this fight. They're obviously gonna make it because the show is named after them."
no, yeah, but it's still
That's something
it's,
that bothers me a lot.
the Jessica Jones. If I really feel like you should take a chance
I
on that one.
probably won't. I don't have time to watch a
Well.
bunch of things.
David Tennant's performance alone in that show is worth watching.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I mean, I like David Tennant in Harry Potter. I don't like him as the Doctor. I really don't like him as the Doctor in Doctor Who. But I liked him in Harry Potter.
All
maybe
right,
it'd be
so one of these days we're just going to talk about films and movies, but we
Yeah, we can
are
go on for a
we
while
are
about that.
running out of time. I want to say thank you so much, Adam, for coming
Connor.
onto the show, man.
Can we play out on the Overwatch
No,
thing?
no problem. Can I say one thing about David Tennant before I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what his newest role is on
Uh,
TV?
no, I do not.
He's the voice of Scrooge McDuck in the DuckTales remake.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's funny.
I feel really bad for him.
Oh, it's good. He's got a great Scottish accent.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
You don't like
Really-
It's good.
DuckTales either, do you?
The new one, I really hate the new one.
Oh man.
I
I don't
Anyway.
mind it so
The
much.
new one he doesn't like. Not the game.
All right.
No, I love the
show.
game. I like the old show. The new rendition that they did, not a big fan. Not a fan.
All right, so we'll leave this for another show. Thank you so much, Adam, for coming on and counting down
No
your top
problem.
5
Awesome.
N64 games. And you'll catch us live next week, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursday evenings at Chaotic Radio. And from everyone here in the studio, we want to say thank you and have a great night.
Love your faces, everybody.
Heroes never die.
Bye.
All right, we're off the app right now. It's still live on YouTube if you want to say anything else.
Yeah, man. Sincerely, thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I know this is probably past your bedtime, so thank you.
Yeah, it's way past the bedtime.
Where
I'm
are
gonna
you
go
calling from?
past that.
He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow, North Carolina.
Yeah, 1 a.m. right now, so I'm definitely ready for bed.
I feel you, man. Last week, our guest was calling from Guernsey, so he started out the show.
Yeah.
It was 3 a.m. there.
3 a.m. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
Props to him, man. That's cool.
did you watch the show